And howdy, folks. Welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder game.
Team 3.
I am Joe Treff, your GM this evening, and most. Here, just come in here for a second. We'll take care of some production things. I am your GM this evening and most, and joining me are a few of my friends who I'll introduce in just a moment.
I'll be there.
But before we do that,
Stall for time.
yeah, before we do that, just a couple of things I wanted to share with you. First of all, so happy you could join us. Hello, Dragonborn Industries. Hello, Talon. Happy to have you as always. We're all here and we're all ready and on time. So I'm Joe Treff, your GM this evening and most, and joining me are my friends Matt, Dan, Olive, and Ari, and all of our things are hung and everything works. We're going to play Starfinder. But before we do, a couple quick announcements. No, literally.
Traffic was real bad.
Yeah, I know. We were doing a bit. We were doing a bit.
Yeah.
A couple of things before we do Starfinder. We have a YouTube at Alberon RPG where you can see all of our old sessions. We re-air the Sunday after we play, so it will be this weekend at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, followed by our D&D campaign at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. We also have an Instagram at Alberon RPG where you can see all the thrilling things on our table. It's a pizza box, but sometimes there's encounter maps, sometimes there's other things, and you can see that in greater detail at Alberon RPG. Excuse me. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to be playing our original D&D campaign. I believe it is session... Oh gosh, I can go look. I wrote all the notes for it.
83.
81. Session
Damn, that's
81
close.
of D&D, Courts of Everest.
Threw it out there.
Yeah. We are just getting out of the Temple of the Frozen Throated Dreadlord and moving on to different things. But that is all the announcements that I have for this week. And it is time for this week's session of Mosaic Team 5.
No, I said it first too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I said
Mosaic Team 5. Last we played.
pew pew pew.
You faced a leaking nuclear reactor that shed radiation through the space that housed it. Shade, you decide to dash through. I'm in stereo. Shade, you decide to dash through and reset the housing mechanisms manually using plans sent over from Echo before they vanish deep into the assemblage. But as you planned to go, a series of files hit you on time delay from Echo. The single file was marked with only 3 numbers, those that make up Echo's unique identifier. Shade, you solved the password and found a folder for each member of Mosaic Team 5.
That was so cool.
Each holding meaningful material to the person it was for, and hidden within a data file was a message to each, revealing that Echo viewed them as a family and thanked them for their help. Spice did not read their message, partially for fear of the contents. Knowing Echo was in danger, Shade rushed ahead and, with careful planning, acquired only minimal radiation sickness, which Gibbs cured.
Achoo!
You then doubled back around to check the main lift, but arriving at the annex, found yourselves unable to help yourselves and decided to look around a little bit more. Aside from Bubbles, who checked ahead, being responsible, making sure the lift was accessible, and indeed confirming that there was power to this lift that you needed to take down to the next level. Spice, you examined the bank of mostly static monitors, first from afar, and then realizing that you recognized some of the scenery, you got a little closer and saw on one of them the desert planet of Akaton, as it whirred by as an Echo unit was in movement along the road between Perdido and Olvidado, the 2 cities that you are familiar with quite well. And another that seemed to be broadcast live from a Vesk prison, and as you tried to make out some of the people and shapes, you did in fact know some of the people who were being held there. Shade, you checked into the intake office, finding evidence to suggest that a dead member of the intake team had eventually become an Echo unit on Akaton. And Gibbs, you went ahead to speak to the android in the forensics laboratory, the same place that Echo had explicitly instructed your team not to go.
Whoops.
And found Echo 00018, a unit without arms or legs that sat secured to an exam table. They professed to be designed to recall defective units before being considered defective themselves. Gibbs, you felt unnerved by this individual and left. You all took the lift down and into the security nexus and the core of the facility, where you found, Shade, as you transverse down this place, there were 5 openings that could have operative tokens inserted. Your team had acquired very few operative tokens, in fact, exactly 1. And so you chose to disable 1 of the countermeasures. Faced with electricity, with turrets, with drones, you opted instead to disable the teleportation hazard in the room and entered inside. In this expansive space with 50-foot-high ceilings dominated by arcing coils of electricity that protected the core and valuable technology within, you were confronted by a security force consisting of 3 functional Pallades Rock androids and a quintet of decomposed prototype androids, the biological material hanging like desiccated fabric off of the sleek metallic skeletons and woven alloy muscles. A true Echo unit, the template of all other 7,000 or 70,000 series androids, engaged you up close, using unbelievable speed and agility to strike and evade back to the safety of the arcing electricity. An elite covert combat assaulter exploded into your ranks, slamming into Shade and dealing heavy damage while absorbing even rounds from an anti-tank rifle firing 6-inch shells across the room. And then an elite covert combat arcane unit used some magical ability, or jetpack perhaps, to keep themselves aloft, flying high and behind the rest of the combat to try and cast fear spells and other uniquely damaging abilities from safety. At Shade's direction, Bubbles flew up to meet the arcane unit head-on, hampering the spellcaster's ability to operate smoothly. Shade, you held the front line, keeping the Proteco units and the assaulter in a line of fire for the anti-armor turret, while managing to avoid the worst of the blows yourselves. Spice and Gibbs ran to the right, to the arcane unit, with Gibbs using the smoke of the exploded fuel cells to obscure themselves while firing Mind Thrust and other spells into the room, and keeping Shade on the brink of life as the various attacks took their toll. They also managed to fatigue the Echo unit, which seemed to change something dramatically in their programming. This led to that Echo unit to spend about 2 turns aiding you, telling you that your own Echo unit was captive in the purple container off and to your right. But as soon as it started, the effect was lost, and they resumed assaulting you with murderous intent. Excuse me.
Mundane intent.
Mundane intent.
They were going to ask us to do the dishes.
I thought that was still a misleading thing. I can't believe.
No, I hadn't even thought about that. That was a great use of that ability. Spice granted move actions and used Inspiring Boost on each of your allies in turn to keep them in the fight, but you found yourself stalked by the Echo unit. But luckily, from the smoke, it was Gibbs with Mind Thrust that exploded this Echo 80,000's head. And Mosaic Team 5, as you stand with electricity crackling overhead, the rest of the Echo units disabled or down around you, as Hueltex limps into this space, that is where we begin this evening. For all of you, you can see Hueltex limping into this space. There is fresh ozone and laser fire and caustic smoke from the burning fuel cells only now beginning to die down all around you. You can see as he steps into this space, there is just crackling electricity still overhead, still in front of the doors, but he raises the staff up, and you can see there is a sphere of blue strobing light that begins to surround him. He starts limping over towards the main structure, but what are the rest of you doing?
Can I identify that spell?
Make an Arcana check.
As soon as we've deleted the threats, I'm trying to use my exocortex to wirelessly link into the where I had just found where the piece of the alcode was, the echolocator.
Okay, so
but I don't want to make it appear as if I've found it, because I don't want Hueltex, unless he's already knows exactly.
He's going in that direction for sure.
Then, yeah,
and as you approach, he says, "Warning, The floor is electrified.
I know.
Give me just one moment. And they turn. The strobing intensifies as they approach, and they slow their pace. Gibbs, what was your check?
So I'm using Mind Over Magic to do this check.
Okay.
Once every 10 minutes when you successfully identify a spell, which is a 28.
Okay.
As it's being cast, I could get a circumstance bonus on saving throws, and if I can cast the identifying spell, I receive a bonus to 2.
Sure. You don't know this spell,
Okay.
but this seems to be something akin to detect magic. It's stronger than that. And you get the sense that this is something that is uniquely meant for traps.
Okay.
Traps not of an arcane nature, just in general.
Okay.
And you get the sense that this probably has the ability to defeat traps as well. Are you doing something else?
Well, I think I can still access it wirelessly,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I knew about the
Yeah.
electrical doors, the traps. So I guess
I'm just gonna sit around, kind of hovering around Yuletech and Shade,
Okay.
just watching.
22.
With a
32.
With a 32, you're just barely able to access the machine. And you get the sense that there are powerful countermeasures in here. There is a element to this machine that is able to load most of the electricity on this level through somebody who is attempting to force their way in. We're talking about not just electricity like the stuff that is arcing overhead, already powerful though that may be. This is something that will likely kill somebody outright. You get the sense that your check is not enough to defeat that. This is a substantially protected machine. It's shielded. Directly interfacing would likely decrease the DC by 5. But as you do all this, Huletex will say, it will turn to everybody else and say, "Proclamation. Come. The all code awaits." The strobing gets intense, more intense and more intense as they get closer to the door. And as they get to within 5 feet of the 5-foot space in front of the doorway itself, the strobing becomes just a single point of light and then leaps down into the floor. And there is a surging jolt. The electricity itself warps and charges the floor panel before it just starts to smoke. And Huletex steps gingerly forward, doesn't get electrocuted, continues on inside.
Can I continue on inside?
You can.
Oh yeah, I
Shade
guess.
follows, Bubbles follows,
Guess I'm gonna continue. on
Spice
then.
follows.
Wait, I wanna. Is there anything cool on the floor first?
Make an investigation check.
I hope this was like a teleportation or vanishing to smoke, not like a transform your body into another body unit.
You're all rabbits now.
Yeah. He mentioned that with
Oh, first roll of the night is a nat 20 bag.
Oh, nice.
Loot the bodies, loot the bodies.
Yeah,
Find a
looting.
token.
Absolutely. Let me pull up the full list.
Spice is like watching everybody kind of follow Huletex into the room, and Spice just looks over her shoulder at the like dead bodies
Yeah, absolutely.
everywhere. And
The mage.
So a couple of things. As you
hammer.
go over, first of all, yeah, you definitely see that big hammer.
I'll grab a hammer for.
But there's a couple things. Give me 1 second. I have so many creatures. Okay.
for my new
So
boyfriend.
first, you look at the Echo 80,000, the one that Gibbs had just exploded its head. You can see the whole bottom portion of it is just like ruptured off. But when you look down at the body, you can see that there is a very unique looking blade. It is like a dark handle, and the blade itself is almost translucent. And as you pick it up and you kind of swish it around, this is a Spectre blade, Sondria, which is I believe, a level 14 item. It has a critical ability, and as you swish it for just a moment, you swear the blade winks out of existence and then just reappears on the other end.
That's so badass.
Wait,
You also see on this individual, kind of like the arms have expanded a little bit and tucked into compartments, similar to how your Echo unit keeps weapons. There are a pair of uppercut SMGs Elite.
wow.
You also know they're wearing a D-suit Mark IV.
Fuck yes, that's what I wanted to get today.
And as you are looking around, there's something attached to this D-suit. You've never seen anything like it. And then it strikes you, Spice. You have.
Yeah.
And you realize this Echo unit was not moving faster than your Echo unit because the small box attached to this D-suit bears all the signature markings of a teleportation device. And this is a D suit that has integrated into it a teleportation unit, which is an armor upgrade. It allows you to teleport once. It's a very, very cool thing. And you recognize one of those moments where Echo just leaped up and just winked into the electricity.
Yeah.
Is likely a teleportation, not a movement. And that's what you would find. Pretty minimal on this individual. But as you go through, you kind of move over to the assaulter. And on this individual, much larger, you can see attached to their body, there is this hammer that Bubbles had actually identified. On the back of it, there are actual rockets that are like attached to it.
Oh my
It has
God.
a fuel source, almost certainly. But this is a swoop hammer Mach 1. They also have an uppercut SMG elite to bring the total to 3. And that is all that they have. They seem to be pretty minimal as well.
Okay.
And Spice, you recognize that these individuals, they don't have like a lot of personal items.
Yeah.
You get the sense that they had stuff assigned to them, really.
Do they have their buddies?
Their tokens?
Oh yeah, is there a token anywhere?
These individuals have no tokens, and with your check, you get the sense that you really looked through. There's nothing really there. On the final one, the one that had some magical abilities, you find that they have what looks like a weapon that they never used. It's a tri-laser. You'd seen some of the other creatures use this. And then they have a armor that is... Oh, wait, sorry. I'm reading the wrong individual.
Yep. Delete the tri-laser real quick. I was like, magical tri-laser.
Not a magical tri-laser. I was looking at my...
It's a regular ass.
my boarding echoes. I have a lot of echoes.
I bet.
Like at least 70,000, right?
Yeah, I stat block each one individually.
Do you have more Yosogi's or
Laura.
more Echoes?
Yes.
Yes.
That would be interesting. I could look later. So this magical one, no weapons, no items. You do note that they had a different kind of armor. This is plexiglass bodysuit.
Plexiglass bodysuit.
Yeah. And so a little bit more, perhaps capable of casting, maybe a little bit more able to move in it. But that's all that they really had. Pretty minimal there.
Okay.
But that's what you find.
Wow, fucking sick.
The rest of you make your way into this space. And if you want, you can follow after a little bit,
Yep.
Spice. But you can see there's a sleek control room with red and white lights that flicker on and off across various displays. You can also see a network of internal security cameras. Many of them, the monitors long since burned out, but a few show scenes that you've seen around the station. A few show other places that you have not seen before. You can see that there is a little workbench, and in this place there is a number of different little cylinders. Each looks incredibly complex, and you can see there are crystalline matrices that hint at incredibly complex technology there. You can see many of those seem dark, but there are at least a couple that seem functional. And then finally, the thing that you saw off in the corner, a complex crystalline dodecahedron that sits in a cradle of light that is itself embedded into a workstation shade. The source of this all code. This is the what is colloquially called the echolocator.
Huh.
And this is something that is, you can see it looks almost like an explosion of light within this crystal, and you recognize each one is maybe a point tracking a particular echo unit across a almost impossibly large to imagine space. And so from far away it looks like a crystal, but getting closer it is just so much light packed so closely together. It looks like that. But it's
Like, what's his face in X-Men? The fucking brain thing. And he
I don't know
talks
X-Men
in-
enough to
I
know
don't
kind of
know,
the
dude.
brain.
That's why I'm
Danger
like,
Room with
the one, where fucking what's his face? Patrick
Xavier.
Stewart puts his fucking
Xavier.
helmet on, and then it's like all the lights are on.
Yeah, that's the Danger Room.
Charles Xavier?
Yeah. And
That's
he like
Professor X.
yeah, and he looks for all the little fucking lights,
I'll-
and
I'll-
they're
Yeah,
all
no, I
the,
remember
I'll
that.
Google it.
I remember
It's all-
that.
it's like he's
X-Men-
finding all the
X-Men 1. I
mutants,
remember that.
Maybe I don't remember this.
That's
but,
Cerebro. The thing that
Oh, Cerebro.
Yeah,
no,
Cerebro.
that's not like Cerebro, but kind of, yeah, kind
No,
of
it is
like that.
Cerebro.
Yeah, a little bit.
without the helmet.
Without the
Cerebro.
helmet.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can see Hultex goes in, and there is, for the very first time, you can hear almost like a sigh. And from Hultex,
Gross.
proclamation. Entities designated Mosaic Team 5. You will be remembered. You have gathered one more piece of the code that brings us all together.
One more piece. Do you have a different one?
He turns and says, "Reminder, proclamations are issued by one person."
Oh.
They then say, "You may call upon the cult of Oil and Chain, should you require us." They turn and they go over towards this echolocator.
Wait, Hiltech.
They turn and they look at you. They're in pretty rough shape. They haven't made any real effort to heal themselves or anything, and you know that he's capable of doing that. But he looks at you.
Oh, in peace. Are you gonna be okay? Are you gonna merge with this? I don't understand. What's going on?
Clarification. I will get one step closer to being whole.
Will we need to carry you out of here?
They turn and they say, "The physical shell is not important. You may leave it here, or use it."
Do we need to prepare a ritual for
Every
your
time that you guys
send-off?
talk, he takes one step closer and has to stop and turn. He turns and he says, "Personal belief. Such rituals are based in emotions. These are not necessary."
Yes.
You're
of
excited?
course.
They turn, and for a moment,
I'm stalling.
you can see their hands kind of go out. You can see there's a brief flicker of a glow, but they stop, and they say, "Gibbs, query, have you ever felt alone?"
All the time. Sometimes. All the time, sometimes.
In the end, as organic beings, we are all alone. But it does not need to be that way. And they turn and they hold their hands out, and you can see there is a moment where the eyes get brighter. What was that?
This is giving me big Neon Genesis vibes.
They spread their hands out wide, and you can see at the edge of each fingertip there is a small opening that tethers light in an instant from their hands to this machine. And you can see the machine spins to life, and a little bit closer to the Cerebro thing that you were talking about, you can see the lights zoom in and out and move, but they're not capturing any data. You can see they are going down and down and down into the core of this programming. And you watch, as I would say, Shade, you're familiar with the concepts that are behind computers very intimately. They just copy a piece of this code, and then every ounce of power in Hultex's body, every cybernetic, puts this power into a single signal, and that signal goes out. And the power from this is so intense, you can hear the sound of the circuitry frying on the inside of this individual. The lights go out, and there is a beep as the echolocator restarts.
What's the signal? What was the message?
A copy of the all code. He copied the crystalline
So-
thing and sent it to.
Oh, it sent it to the other.
The piece of code that he took out, presumably the all code that was powering the device, is it still intact within the echolocator? He just
So you step
made a
up to this
physical
terminal.
or a digital copy and then died sending
Is
it.
he dying? Is he dead?
Yes,
So you
he
look down,
ascended.
and
He
with the-
used all of the
He
power
ascended.
left within his body to send out a hyper signal that sent the all code to wherever it was going, presumably to where they
Oil
were.
chain.
Yeah.
So
housing
this computer is immense, and when you look at the infrastructure and the sort of architecture of systems that it would take to be able to track this many moving things at once, it's incredible. And he just copied and uploaded that entire thing. And to do that required all of the power that he had. In many ways, I would say, make a medicine check, Gibbs. You look down and you can see the circuitry is frying. There is almost no organic, so there's no blood. There's nothing like that.
33.
But when you look at this person, every organic being that you've ever taken apart or rooted through, everything that exists, as weird as it looks, it all has a meaning or a purpose, and this does too. All of these power sources are not loaded in parallel like they could be. They're loaded in series. Hultex's body, the arms, the legs, all of these mechanical things, while they have other functions, they're not really meant to be arms or legs or a body. Hultex is a battery.
Yeah. His whole purpose was to come here and send himself this code, or send,
He emailed himself the code.
Yeah.
But I want your questions to be answered.
Sheds a tear.
So the machine is still fully intact. It seems like it's a copy.
If you get up closer, beyond being fully intact, when you step up, it is now unlocked. And you can see within this that there is the ability to access and track down various echo units. You can see many of them offline. There are a few that are disconnected, but there are certainly upwards of, I would say, close to 11,000 that are active. And you can kind of go through and kind of minutely find individual echo units using this. It would take a little bit of doing. It's a little bit hard to navigate, but everything seems intact. Everything seems to be there.
Cool. I want to... Well, not yet, because I want to go and, try to save our echo.
Okay.
But I want to confirm echo is where 80,000 said. And then also see if 899 is active as well.
Can we go back there? How did you said we vanished in a puff of smoke?
You didn't,
No,
so you
that
just
was-
walked through. There was smoke coming up from the
Okay.
actual
It was
fried
'cause
electronics that he disabled,
There was the trap.
but
in the
walked
wall.
into the actual room. So you remember in the battle map, there's that central space. You guys are in there now.
It's like the security hub.
Yeah.
So I want to go back out, light up a cigarette, walk out. Can I leave my exocortex working on looking at 899 and go physically inspect the crate that
Make a
echoes in?
computers check. I would say you probably have to be. What's the range on that?
Well, I can do my implant ghost. I can put my exocortex into computers.
Give me 1 second here. While you're doing this, what is everybody else doing?
Spice is going to, I guess, pray to Hylax that Hultex gets to meet Triune.
Okay.
So she's like, her eyes are closed, but like her antennas are like lightly twitching as she does her own broadcast of sorts.
Okay. You send that message out. You consider this individual. Make a sense motive check.
Okay. Do I get my expertise dice to sense motive?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go and do it because I think the range out.
Yes, I do. Oh, dude, natural 19. Oh, dude, it's... let's see. Jesus.
God speaks to you and is like,
Well, it's less that.
37.
You close your eyes and you try to think back. You're like, okay, I remember that there was an entity that he worshipped, and who was that? And you think back to the Liberteca, the building that the Cult of Oil and Chains works out of, and you're trying to think of what symbols were there, and you remember there was a billboard, and it wasn't religious symbols, it was corporate symbols.
Uh-oh.
And you realize all at once, Cult of Oil and Chain, it's a religion, but there are several companies that are using the religious fanaticism of these people to get basically free batteries.
Oh my
They find
god!
this technology and then they upload it, and they don't need to worry about long-term benefits. They don't need to worry about anything.
That's fucked up.
It's and then there's parts of it, you look down, Hultex, there's very little organic elements to them, and they don't look in pain. There's a lot of feelings going on, but you get the sense that as you try to offer out this prayer, you're not sure how genuine this religious organization is. But you walk out. You make your way
Olive
over.
is so conflicted about that because I guess
Make
it's a
your way
choice, but
over to
also,
the purple container, and you can see that there is a computerized lock. It is covered in Gibbs evidence because Gibbs tried really hard to get through. You see little scratch marks on the paint. But yeah,
It has a slot for a token, right?
it does.
No, I guess I would look around the room to see if there are any tokens. I imagine that there aren't, based on the rarity that they seem to be.
You haven't found any in here? You do note, though, as you look around, that there is on this container a little, it's like a digital shipping manifest that is attached to the computerized lock. And you do note that there is a name attached to this. It's pretty simple. There's no address that's been put into it yet, but it does read property of William the Pleaser.
Oh, Jesus. That was where? Was that
On the
on
It's on the
shipping
purple
manifest.
shipping container.
Manifest.
Manifest, yeah.
Great. Cool. Shade continues to smoke the cigarette and begins to try and assess the best way to safely extract our echo from this container.
Yeah. I mean, you would probably want to just hack the computerized lock, open it up, get Echo out.
This
Sounds too simple.
Yeah, this feels like a trap.
If you want to make it more complex for yourself, you can, or you can make a
No.
computer check to look for countermeasures.
Well, yeah, I want to like make sure that if I do this, it's not going to send a message to William the Pleaser being like, someone's
Sure.
tampered with your product and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, make
you
a
know?
make a computer check.
Oh, yeah, we don't want
Can
that.
I grave words, heal text?
Sure.
Ooh.
You roll a percentage
know.
die.
That's
I do like grave words. That is a fun one.
Yeah, so I see you praying, and I like kneel next to you.
just left.
and
Spice's eyebrows keep furrowing and furrowing, like the voice.
And I
gets
kind of
into
like
it.
turn to like look between you and heal text, and I'm like, oh, he needed better last words.
You
His
can
last words were
see
pretty
they
epic.
open
Yeah, they were
the visor like activates for just a second. It is a flickering light. They have no eyes. They have no mouth. Just this metal piece that the voice is electronically broadcast from. But you can hear this agonizing, just electronic wheeze as they inhale one more time, and they just say,
Statement.
"Fact. You should update your password regularly."
That is useful to me.
Not wrong.
Just straight down.
Honestly, good advice.
You okay?
Bad news.
What?
And she explains the corporate nature of.
We just gave
Cult
them
of a-
like
Well, yeah.
what corporations?
Cult of Oil and Chain.
Yeah, no,
is-
which ones? We're on the billboard.
With your sense motive check, you don't remember specifically,
Yeah.
but you do remember there was an import company. And that particular import company was one that
Museum?
you had seen. No.
They were importers, not
One
exporters.
second here. I'll pull
Not
it up. It's in my notes.
We want to get out of the import and get into the export.
I mean, it kind of depends on what you're trying to do with your portfolio.
Import not import Rocco.
The Sigla Import Company.
Oh,
Wait, isn't Sigma Sealy?
And you
heard that name
associate
before.
that
Yeah.
with your mom being on the board of it.
oh my
I said that.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, isn't that your mom?
Is it?
Nice. Yay. I pay attention.
Wait, remind me what my mom was doing with Sigla.
Sigla is a company that your mom is on the board of.
Yep.
They import and export various items. You've seen it come up 3 times so far in this campaign. There was a box that had a candlestick. We had a ghost iron. There was a video in which the corporate logo was flashed. And then the Sigla Export Company also was responsible for the shipping containers that you found, I believe, aboard. I have to go back and look where, but you found them on some shipping containers as well. They seem to be predominantly dealing with shipping and moving around things that are specialty items, more valuable, more fragile.
Weren't those from the shipping containers either from the husk when we found the Zon-Kuthon, the benailed altars, or on the Tony Express?
I believe on the Tony Express.
I think it was the Tony
wasn't
Express.
the
too.
What made you find this other sickly transport?
It was a sense motive check.
Oh, on the religion?
Wait,
It was
is that your
sense
mom?
motive on thinking about
Yeah,
like the
that's-
religion.
The religion of the cult.
Can you ask your mom?
Yes.
Or like no? Is that
Didn't my
weird?
mom say I shouldn't contact her?
But like, wouldn't you want to know that you're somewhat responsible if like her corporation's directly benefiting from this guy and his?
I think it should be more of an in-person conversation
idea.
than over a communication. Because I can try, but you've seen me try to contact my mom.
Yeah, I
It
getcha.
doesn't even get to Debussy, let alone her. So,
Well, Heltex had a pretty cool staff, right?
You go over, and it has fallen apart. It is not a magical item. This seems to be just several pieces of like plated metal that could realign. They could become armor. You saw him use it to like become
Science is
different things.
magic, baby.
Yeah, but really, it was more like he used the staff as components for spells.
Yeah. Cool.
Spice sees you looking at Hultex's stuff, and she pulls up this plexiglass bodysuit. And she goes, "This was on the magical one if you want it."
You know, clear. I'm so sweaty. It always just gets like condensated in the inside and like.
It would be foggy. in
Yeah.
there. It might.
It's like a terrarium.
Yeah. But
Um,
think about the moss you can grow. The mold would be spectacular.
Ooh. Well, maybe we'll put it in the greenhouse and I can just grow mold.
Oh,
the
yeah,
suit.
we could add it to the
Yeah.
greenhouse. Okay, that's one way to use like level 15 armor.
Oh, is it low?
I don't know. It's probably higher. It's
It's
probably
up pretty high.
All right, hold on. Let me look. I don't think it's good enough.
Bubs is just gonna kind of like watch this conversation, but like kind of like not seem interested, like just be on his comm. And he just wants it to be like, maybe I should go see what Shade's doing.
Okay.
So he's gonna kind of leave after the conversation's kind of settled, and they're kind of like focusing on like armor or fashion or whatever. Bubs doesn't care.
Is it a 2 or a 3?
3.
We were talking about green mold and whatever. I don't know.
It's 14, I believe.
That's fashion.
It's
Go see.
13.
Yeah, level 13. Yeah, that's it.
Is this really clear plexiglass or is
It's
it?
not. No, so the
okay.
plexiglass, it looks almost like peach glass on the plates of it. It's very nice looking. It does have a bit of a green sheen to it. And it's not actually glass. This is elements of like hardened kelp and other things that have been layered and armored over. I would say you don't know too much about the production of it, but it's not
Nice.
like see-through.
You know what? Actually, this is a nice green. I will take it.
So Bubs wants to go over and like go back
Oh,
to where
yeah.
Shade was, probably like go out through the door
Okay.
and then go down and then like notice Shade. And like Bubs wants to do this thing where like he normally does with Shade, where he doesn't say anything, but he just watches him work.
Okay.
And is like a kind of understood kind of.
It's
like,
brief. You can
Yeah.
see Shade just goes right up to the computer
So I'm
and
just gonna sit and
immediately
watch.
gets root access to it.
watch Shade work.
This is a relatively simple lock. This isn't meant to be secured. And that tells you that probably Echo and this other unit are disabled within. There is only one node, and that is binarily to open or shut it. And so if you want to open it, you can.
Okay, so there's nothing that could indicate like it's being tracked.
There's no
or-
transmitter to it.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I'm gonna open it and then presumably find the deactivated Echo units.
So you open it up. And you can see there are two sort of parcels, both bundled onto what you have seen as almost like Echo skeletal frame pallets. One of them is your Echo unit. And you can see
dude.
very dim blue lights. They are alive. They have been disabled. They have been shut down in some way. You get the sense, Shade, that they probably will take a couple hours to reboot. And so they'll be out of it for a little bit, but maybe back next week. You see the other Echo unit is not in so good shape. You can see there is very cleanly a bolt hole that is like right through the back. It appears as if they were either shot or probably more likely manually murdered from behind.
Does the weapon location indicate that it was our Echo? Like, is it weaponry that, or like the wound?
Make a
hole?
medicine check.
You laugh, but I'm pretty good at medicine.
I feel like manually murdered. Makes it sound like it's like cattle.
I mean, I was getting like Anton Chigurh vibes. That's a dirty.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, 21.
21?
Yeah.
With a 21, it certainly looks like a pneumatic point was put straight through. There is no blood spatter around. There is just a good amount of like hydraulic fluid that comes down the back. There is nothing that shows any kind of like blunt force trauma around the entry site. It was very quick. It was very painless. And you realize in looking at this, there is something that was extracted as part of this process as well. And you remember back within the actual central structure, there was these little cores. One of those would fit into that space.
So the core, because that was, if I remember correctly, that was one of the like original Echo units.
Correct.
So the core was probably taken to be relocated, which means that this facility is probably still like active.
Make a sense motive check. Is anybody else doing anything?
I'm gonna go to Shade. Shade, what are you fiddling around with? What? Echo's right here. Why are you messing with that unit?
15. Something is wrong.
Could be anywhere.
What's wrong?
This Echo unit was deactivated, but its core was taken.
You're looking at our Echo and
No.
No,
Different Echo.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Very similar. The body's almost identical. The face, the only thing that's different, the hair a little bit different, but
so this is part of Echo's batch. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was the one that they left with.
I'm gonna reply to Shade and what do you mean something's going on?
This Echo unit was one of the progenitors of more batches of Echo units. It has a core that is more basic, as if that's not the right word. It is the first.
less that it's more basic, more that
It's like the root code, right?
it is more pure.
Yeah.
So every time that you copy something,
That's
it
the-
fragments
yeah.
slightly. This is something that is so pure that you could probably put it into a different Echo unit and get a very similar result, even if the build isn't exactly the same. And I would say with that, as like Bubbles brings this to your mind, you think about those other units. They were slightly different colors. You get the sense that, in theory, Echo units have interchangeable abilities with these cores. And all at once you realize, if you had other cores like this, you might be able to allow Echo to full sail change their abilities.
What?
You think about the arcane Echo unit that was kind of flying around. You could potentially change Echo into a unit that is like that. You think about the assault unit that was able to like integrate the hammer into their attacks. You could, in theory, have an Echo unit like that.
But this core is special because it's basically like the Eevee of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Echolution.
But that core is missing because they are killing
No,
was taken
that was
out?
from the previous monster that you walked into in the forensic lab.
No, that core was missing. This
Yeah,
was
so
missing.
there's two of them. The one that's missing, and then also we're referencing the old one that was found in the lab. Unless this one that's missing is also old.
No, so the one that you found in the lab was like pretty desiccated and
Yeah,
broken
that's
down. It had a core in it still, but you don't know much more than that. And then this one is missing that piece.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, that's what you know.
And these crystalline tubes on the workbench.
Those seem to be perfectly sized to
Okay.
go into those holes. So you get the sense Gibbs, now looking and maybe overhearing parts of this conversation, that was removed and
Right.
placed on a table in that central
Oh,
space.
wait, so can I find a lit up one?
You go over,
Yeah.
and
Activate
you
it.
can see that there are 3 that are lit up on this table that has maybe a dozen of these cells.
Yeah.
You can see one is labeled as Echo Prototype - Witch Warper.
Ooh.
You can see one is labeled Echo Prototype - give me just one moment here. Mystic.
Mystic?
And there is one that is Echo - Prototype Operative. And that one is the cleanest.
Yeah.
That one, you can smell just a whiff of disinfectant.
Yeah.
That one was probably placed here very recently.
This is ours.
I put them in the backpack, except for the operative one, which I walk out to.
To the blank
Our
body.
Echo isn't missing their core.
No?
No.
Oh, so this is just another.
This is the one that probably belongs to the one next to
Can
Echo.
I
Oh.
plug it in and start them up and reboot them?
Are you going to do that?
I'm like standing in front of it.
Oh.
Why?
Because like you guys have been in the other room.
Yeah, we're just...
Yeah.
It's just a little narrow container opening.
Plug her in. The AM in.
And also like we don't want to plug them in
Why?
because when we plug them in, they're potentially going to be hostile to us. That was
The other thing is, Gibbs, as you look here, you are looking at a core that is functional, and you're looking down at an echo unit that is likely not. They are probably dead. They have been disposed of. Your echo unit's fine.
Right.
The echo unit that took them
Yeah.
seems to have died. The core, you might be able to just smush back into place. That doesn't mean that they're going to react to it. You would need to switch out a living echo unit's processor with this,
Right.
and that would change its abilities. And so from a mechanical standpoint, this is an opportunity if Kara wanted it
Right.
I
to
see.
change Echo into either to reset their operative status to a different operative
Yeah.
set, to have a Witch Warper kind of subset, or a Mystic subset.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool, that's really
Just for
fucking
some
dope.
flexibility.
I thought this was a soul that you plug into a body.
I thought this was a soul
Yes.
This is much more like the like memories or like
Yeah.
abilities. You think about those ability crystals that you have
Yeah.
interacted with, kind of similar to that.
Okay.
Bubba is going to continue what he was saying, the shade. So, all these cores, they're just a bigger part of the puzzle of what makes an echo unit.
What do you think an echo unit entails besides the core?
Well, I don't know. Echo keep saying that it was a bunch of body parts, maybe previously owned by one person or replaced by other parts throughout the galaxy. But to be honest, even saying that out loud, it sounds so far-fetched. I mean, what would a corporation stand to benefit? I mean, I understand it's the labor and it's the cost and all this coming together, but you asked me what an echo unit is, and I look at this place and I thought it was for commercial goods, but this is more than just a war economy. This is like planning for something. This had intentions here.
Everything that you're saying, Bubbles, you've always felt like there was something more going on. And this feels like a part of it. So you all now stay within the space. It is about 12:30 p.m. You have your echo unit. I would say easy enough. You can find a little hover sled to kind of load them on and push them along. Is there anything else that you were taking? Or are you making your way back?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of stuff here that Echo would want to look for. Like, we want to get the information of where all the other Echoes are, and also, like, I want to destroy this facility so that it can't continue to do
What if we can do
things.
both? What if we can do both? I got an idea.
I'm not saying any of this out loud.
Fuck! I have an
Saying,
idea.
like,
It also dawns on Gibbs, I guess.
like, so I guess what I'm trying to do is Hueltex has left us the echo locator.
Correct.
Is there a way that we can make that portable, or do we have to use it here and then it's like we can't use it?
Make an engineering check.
That is a good point.
Because if we have to wait to use it here, then I want to wait for Echo to be able to use it.
Sure.
32.
You have in your possession 3 functional, incredibly complex crystalline drives. if you were to wipe the information off of the operative one, the mystic one, or the witch warper one, you could probably load the information from the echolocator onto that.
Oh.
You think about this dead echo unit. While they can't be brought back to life, perhaps they, or perhaps even Hultex's remains, might be used as a... You get the sense that this will be troubling to interact with, and perhaps somewhat unnerving, but it could perhaps work as a housing for it. You could, of course, just spend more time when you get back to a more stable place to figure out a way to create a more humane
housing.
Yeah.
Could,
Housing.
hypothetically, since Shade does have a hard drive in his exocortex, could he fit it in his own exocortex?
Hypothetically, you could fit 2 of them in. It would be very interesting.
Oh, we get Three Face over here. Actually gets 3 different classes.
I guess I want to do it the humane,
Okay.
the androidane way.
Sure. So which one of these drives are you wiping?
It was Witch Warper, Operative, and what was it?
Mystic.
Wait, before you do that, I have an idea. What if, couldn't you just, all that Hultex was a battery, so couldn't you just reroute the power to this place, find a way to damage all the circuits by one huge power draw, and we fundamentally do the same thing, and we just send it to the chip
What?
guy.
What?
Okay.
Can't we just do the same thing he
I'm
did and
so-
copy it? If we're copying it onto these drives, why don't we just take the power that exists here, do one big draw to brown out the whole circuit?
Where would it go though?
Can't we just send it to the director?
I don't think would the director be able to house, like, is that something that's even...
This is similar to, you have spent time within a few laboratories now, and like those, there's a closed circuit system, so it's not designed to transmit.
Right.
In theory, if you spend a couple days and like you would need to build,
like
you're
this
talking
array
about,
transmitter?
it would be an array, and it would be
Yeah.
an array that would probably need to be
And the
pretty
ship's not
fast.
close. It's teleported away.
It would be big.
We would have to bring it closer.
probably about an 18-foot long antenna.
Or like
You know
as
who
a
can
starting
teleport
point.
now?
Hey.
not...
Not teleport to the ship.
I know.
But like, yes, theoretically you could.
It would be a longer and more difficult
You
process
probably
than
want to
just
be more
taking the physical-
selective
Yeah,
in how you grab data, and grab data that's important to you.
right.
You've seen many of the offices, and so you kind of know what's around. There's a few places that you haven't been, but you can certainly wipe one of those drives and load the echolocator on that.
Before I do that, I did have a thought. When we came in, you said that there were some cameras still functional.
Yeah.
Do they have any internal memory? Is there any footage of perhaps the last known people who entered the facility?
So you look, these seem to be closed circuit. There's no recorded kind of stuff in here, and they're not using magnetic tape, so there's no way to really go back and like extract
Okay.
images, but it's a really good thought. You can see pretty much the entirety of the space. You can see the different white zones, the operative section. You can see the upper platform that you have found the intake and outtake office on. You can see there is an operative training facility. You've not gone here, but you can see, similar to a danger room actually, this is a big round room with many panels and different things that you imagine house different weapons and traps and things like that.
Well done.
You can see the forensic bay. You can see there is a huge facility that looks like it has maybe close to 200 pods that at one point were maybe cryogenic pods. You can see a lot of them look pretty soupy. A lot of them are glowing with red light. There is a bunch of different things, but you do not see anything that would hint at there being recordings.
Then yeah, I guess I would just set about
Cryopods.
transferring the echolocator for manual extraction, and then getting ready to sabotage the fuck out of this place.
Okay, so which of these drives are you wiping?
I hope that this is the right answer for Kara. I think Mystic.
Quick, Kara,
Okay.
get in the chat.
Take this Mystic.
Only
No, she
one
wanted Witch
Mystic.
Warper.
Load it in.
What?
She said she wanted Witch Warper.
Yeah, she
You looked
won.
over- yeah, which one are we
which one are we
getting rid
of?
wiping?
getting
So we're
rid of-
wiping.
You look over at
Mystic,
Gibbs and you're
yeah.
like, can't have two. And you load the Mystic one in.
There can only be one.
There is a resonant ding working, and suddenly this crystal becomes clear, and then slowly you can see light begin to kind of flood it as it rematrices itself and fills with this data. You can see the echolocator itself gets dimmer and dimmer as it transfers the information over. This is quantum computing. This is high-tech stuff, but it happens relatively quickly. It only takes about 10 minutes to do total. So while that's happening, what is everybody else doing?
Getting ready to blow this place.
Yeah, Gibbs starts
That's
with a
what you're
sabotage plan.
Okay.
Gibbs is on the same wavelength of like, this place is inherently evil.
How do you want to sabotage it?
Gibbs starts to look at like life support systems and like knows that this place has radioactive power
Yeah.
that we fixed, and is like, we fixed it, can probably be broken, and is trying to figure out ways to like change ventilation to pump the separated radioactive air back into the place to just like eradicate this whole place.
But before Gibbs does that, I'm gonna stop her because before you mess with any of the power, we do need to take a teleporter back to get to our ship.
Magic.
I would like to invoke my profession
Okay.
to help with this sabotaging.
Nice.
Okay. So we're waiting 10 minutes. The shade
Gibbs
transfers
is like,
us
yeah,
over.
we'll find our way out. Don't worry about it. I've got breathable air. Like, I got life bubble. We're good.
Can we bring the ship to where we are, or do we have to teleport back?
You got to teleport in and out. This is an enclosed space. How they got in here to begin with is very, very curious, because there is no, as far as you have seen, you've explored most of the external like ring, and there is no contact to the exterior.
Yeah.
It's like a hollow
It's
asteroid.
gonna have to be like a timed kind of sabotage.
Well, Gibbs starts to like try and figure it out. Also, is there an intercom system?
No.
Is there evidence that 899? So 899 was here because we used their teleporter. thing?
You used a machine
Yeah.
that was assembled by 899.
Right.
You saw. Make a sense motive check.
I-
Gibbs.
Because we haven't seen evidence of them.
I think we do.
28.
When you first came in, you found the craft that 899 possesses, and so almost certainly 899 was here. You found the remnants of machinery that was used to hotwire a teleportation aboard. That was almost certainly 899's doing. And then you got to the station, and there was Vesk fuel cells. There was a whole bunch of other things there, and you realize all at once, 899 made it here. 899 made it all the way into the assemblage and was ambushed by Vesk.
Oh, fuck.
And
Wait, it was their feet that were, they were the feet that was there?
yeah, they probably followed her and followed them, and followed them through the teleportation, used them to get in. You saw signs that Vesk probably died in the entryway.
Yeah.
They didn't make it any further than that. You saw no further evidence of Vesk past
Right.
that point. And so they probably captured 899. They probably attempted to get further into the assemblage and then were unable to do so.
Right.
You get the sense that 899 was probably taken hostage.
Damn.
899 was probably on that Vesk warship that's got Hoagie and got
Yeah.
somebody
And
else.
Spice, that definitely rings true with that craft that you had seen.
Yeah.
Am I able to locate within the file transfer, or is that I can wait until
That's a
it's
different
fully
thing. Yeah.
transferred?
Well,
Okay,
that's more like a downtime thing, I think.
cool. All right, that's what I figured. Just
Okay. So Shade completes this. You look around. Make a computer's check, Gibbs.
With your help? Aren't you helping me with your feature?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm gonna try to actually sabotage the whole
Cool.
place, like to fucking blow it up.
Nice. Gibbs starts,
Not like radiation's not gonna do shit to the echo units.
I wish we had that nanospire that we had on
Nice.
Waystation El Paso. That would have been quite useful in a moment like
It
this.
certainly would.
23,
With a
which
23,
is pretty good for me.
you look around, you access the different terminals, the security terminal especially, and there is some limited control of some of the ducts and ventilation. You see that they're set to time release so that like human error couldn't make somebody accidentally overload the reactor. You might be able to like hack in and do it in some way, but with that roll, not quite high enough to figure out exactly how and how that might. If that works, it will happen over the course of days or weeks, maybe not immediately. And that might be good.
Yeah.
And so you get the sense that with a little bit more help, you might be able to do that. What are the rest of you doing?
So just to be absolutely sure, there's no echoes of our Echoes batch left on Pallades Rock right now.
From what you have seen, there is no echoes of Echo's batch on Pallades Rock.
I guess while they're all getting set to destroy this place, Spice is going to reach out her mind in a 120-foot radius around us and detect thoughts for 10 minutes.
You detect thoughts. And you get the thoughts of all your compatriots around you.
And that's it?
That's it.
And
Okay.
I press the green button, and I press the orange button.
Okay.
Gibbs is just singing like a little song on repeat. But like the words just change to whatever Gibbs is doing in the moment. It's the thoughts of your teammates. They're familiar to you. Nothing that is alien or coming from another unit.
Okay.
What class? Would you say 899 was an operative?
From what you saw, they move very similarly to Echo. They seem to have a lot of those same abilities. They actually seem faster than Echo. But aside from that, there wasn't much that you guys cleaned. They got in and out very
insecure.
quickly.
When you said Gibbs, that rings true. Was that like a helpful DM trying to guide us at, or was that like a well maybe kind of thing? Because I'm thinking this drive that's the new one from the operative could be 899.
I thought that too, but they got captured. So.
My best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering.
This
if
is
that was-
this is very specifically from
you
the one
saying.
that is
Okay.
dead next to your Echo. Yeah. That is what the kind of astringent smell was. They
Okay.
cleaned it. They put it back. So how are you sabotaging this?
So, to Gibbs' point, we're in the control room now. We've gone through the security bay, and we're in the core, I guess, technically. So I think I have access to most of the facilities.
Yeah.
I think I would probably want to basically set the reactors on like overdrive so that they, after we escape, they just continue to produce until they eventually explode.
Okay. Make an engineering check. It's less that you would want it to produce because it's nuclear power. It's always
Right.
producing.
Right. I mean, I guess like I want it to not have. I want
you
it
don't want it
basically,
to
like,
cool.
gum up. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
drain
gum
the
up
radiator.
the coolant and stuff like that, so that it doesn't have like the ventilation that it would need.
Nice. That's how I'm helping. I point out all the ventilation work I just
and-
did.
Okay. So yeah,
Was-
Gibbs is already traced out, though it is not elegantly done. They're all there. You can see the ducts.
Cool. And you said engineering, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 42.
With a 42, you come up with two separate options. You see a way in which you can make the coolant not fully kind of disappear or turn off, but you can trickle it down to the point where it really won't be working that well, and it will probably take about a day, but eventually that will force the radiation to kind of burst the housing and begin to leak into the rest of the facility. Over the course of the next maybe week or two, it will eventually go critical and cause a nuclear meltdown. That will effectively destroy everything within the space, if not make it completely unlivable. The second option is you could vent all the coolant at once into space. And if you do that, it will overheat within and go critical within close to like an hour.
Yeah, that's not.
I want to do that one, but once we're safely away, so I think I have to do the first one.
Wait, can you program it to have a remote button from your communicator?
This deep into the asteroid, you have to teleport
Okay.
in and out. There's no real clear way, so
Right. Yeah, so we kind of have to. Right?
yeah.
So yeah, I guess I would do that, and then would there be a way to set it so that there are impediments in case someone does come within the next like week or two, like basically disable the teleporter so that
Yeah,
if they do,
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's
Even
easy.
if
You guys
they-
can pick up the pieces of that and just take a
right?
couple
But then
away.
like even if they're able to teleport in some other way, like set it so that all of the power that is still remaining within the facility until it hits that critical threshold is set on like powering just like all of the traps and all of the things that are
You can set it back to being in like a guarded state. You can reset all the things when you leave. It'll be as defended as it was from all of you, which is reasonably
minus all
defended.
the
There is a
It did
ship.
destroy
too.
some
yeah,
of
there's
the
a ship
things.
that's trying to destroy.
There is a huge ship that is also
Which we might
like,
have to fight on our way out.
That's also true, yeah.
you are near the security terminal, and
Ooh, can we
in
print
the-
ourselves badges?
you do know that there's access to the friend or foe targeting parameters.
Should do that.
So you can set yourself as friends and guarantee yourselves not being attacked on the way out.
That would be cool.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
Are you going to use the shorter or the longer method for this?
I think the longer,
Okay.
unless I can get everyone to actually be ready to go within the hour.
No,
and
there's
get
no
Echo
way.
up,
There's
which
Go
no way.
all the way back
we
up.
might-
There's
we
no
might
way
die.
that you can
We're probably
guarantee.
gonna die.
There's
Yeah,
no
we're
There's no
probably
way you
gonna
can
die.
guarantee.
So
You know that you have to. Yeah.
Someone's gonna have to go to
I
the
want to do the
bathroom.
longer way, but I
Someone's
also
gonna
want
have
to, like, in doing the friend or foe switch over for us, can I turn, like, the ship combatants to foe? Or, like, can I get any sense of what's happening on the outside of the asteroid from, like, the surface of...
There's no cameras on the surface. There's nothing that
So there's no
sense it.
sensors for outside that are within the,
Correct.
the facility?
Part of trying to keep this a more covert space is not
There's,
having
like,
things visible
nothing
on the
out
Everything's
outside.
air gapped.
Correct.
Cool. Okay. Then, yeah, so I guess as long as we're friends on the way out,
Okay.
then that's good.
So you set that,
And
no
then
problem.
set everyone else to enemies.
Okay.
Including William the Bruiser.
not everyone.
I start naming people I don't like to
Not
add
everyone,
into the foe
okay,
list.
Because
What if
I
we
don't
just get
want,
a different ship?
if anyone does manage to get in here within the next
All right,
week,
Boy Scout Troop 745. We're here to check out the assemblage.
we finally were able to reschedule.
Oh dear.
And the freshies, and anyone with the last name of
So
Williamsburger.
Gibbs gives you a litany of people to add into this list. You can add them or not. You can also just set it to everybody.
I don't want to, because I don't want to, if it's everybody except for us,
Yeah.
then that's us. We're the ones who did that. So if someone comes and finds out, then they're going to know it was us.
Or we need
You can
to
just set it as a time.
Oh,
You
okay.
can say for the next
Cool.
like 5 hours.
Oh, cool. Then yeah, do that.
Easy enough. Especially with a 42, you're able to very, very quickly put together the different things that you would need to do to make this happen.
Cool.
No problem.
I do so.
You all now have the station in a state that you can initiate this slow reactor overload. At any point, you know how to leave. Is there anything that you all want to do before you leave the station? Yes, Gibbs.
So Echo's personal vendetta, right? Her debt from when it was sold to Mosaic Corp, but the debt came from Pallades Rock.
Correct.
So can whatever debt she's accrued with Pallades Rock that I have access to here, can I wipe her account here?
There is no stored account information
Okay.
here. This is an assemblage. You would probably need to be in a more central distribution center for that.
HQ.
Yeah, you would need to be
This
at
is
the
like
this
a
really
manufacturing
Assembly
plant.
11
You're
or
at
12,
the
I
if you're at the
forget,
plant, they don't have this.
Could I make a non
You're gonna.
Echo 7-8 whatever, like our
You
Echo?
gotta go to accounting for that.
Could I like you know, like an admin account on a computer? Can I make like a Joe Smith at gmail.com or whatever that like I could give the credentials to Echo that would give validity without her using her own identity if she ever wanted to pursue that?
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, not from here. I think you might be able to do like local access to this
Yeah.
particular station.
But they've got their own Active
They've
Directory
got
server.
backups of
And in
I
fact,
get
you
you.
saw them connect their account,
Yeah.
and that activated and triggered something within the station to alert
Yeah.
it to Echo's presence. You get the sense that that's probably really hard to tamper with.
Yeah. Cool. Just wondering.
Yeah.
Then I'm done.
Bubs is gonna take a picture of the all code mainframe area
Okay.
with his camera. Might like on a summary of it in case something happens to him. He has like a proof of it.
Sure.
And oh, nice.
Look at that. Nice little ditty too.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your explain scene.
No, I'm just gonna take a picture of it. Is there anything on Hultek's body I can grab, like a nice little memento or anything?
Little memento note, there's the poncho that he wears. You could kind of pull that off. It is a little bit
You mean like pull that off in terms of like taking it off, or do you think I like pull it off in terms of like fashion? Like, do you think I?
Neither.
You think I?
You can definitely
make
pull it
very-
off in terms of taking it off.
Twist his dick off.
You would probably need to make some other changes to make it really work.
Black
fashionably.
lipstick.
Yeah.
That might actually honestly help. But
Yeah.
it's just like this, almost like
Oh my God.
like it's this very dark
amazing.
poncho with these silver inlays, and when they were able to use their powers, you could see there was these like electronic lights that lit up along the hem. That doesn't seem to be active anymore. It's just a simple poncho.
Yeah. I don't want to. I just want like a memento kind of thing.
You could take one of the pieces of metal, one of the metal plates that, when they were alive, became the staff. It's just like a simple, like,
Is there
3
anything
inch
that
long.
like is meaningful to the oil and change kind of group?
The oil and change.
Really, they're not a really superficial group of people, you know.
Well, then nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
We need to get Echo back onto the director.
Yep.
Can we find? Is there like a stash of tokens somewhere in here?
Okay,
We
get
are
out of there,
going to
Kate.
destroy this place.
Maybe we could go to that printer and print out tokens there. We just put like
Oh,
token,
yeah.
You tried to do that already.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, it didn't work. but it was a
Gibbs
good
will
thought.
push the hollow cart thingy.
Okay. So you get the hover cart and you push Echo on it.
It's the world's most rickety
The
gurney.
rest of you follow
ever.
the rickety gurney and Gibbs.
Could I just carry Echo? I think that'd be easier.
You pick Gibbs up. You pick Echo up off
Yeah.
of the kind of gurney.
Gibbs believes fully that Echo deserves a hollow cart from this place and is
Okay.
going to try to take this hollow cart as
No
far
problem, no
as
problem.
she can.
It's like
do?
a little magnetic stop.
It
at,
doesn't have one of
grocery
those.
store.
Nice!
Stops
So
you.
they're not expecting people to steal this from the parking lot because they're on the inside of an asteroid you need to teleport into. There's no
Yeah.
lock, there's no quarter that you get back. You could just steal this because you've already done all the
You
work
try
of
to
breaking it.
teleport
Gibbs
it.
is going to
Like,
steal.
almost that.
Wait, yeah,
Echo.
didn't Echo on Agaton, I want to say?
So a huge
need-
part
Accrued a
so
large
yeah.
amount of debt.
You actually saw in the Echo Operative Resource Station that there was these things for rent.
Cantina.
They were rent for hundreds of credits, and then they charged and increased by the hour. So if you forgot about one over the course of a day,
Yep.
that's
If it got
10,000 credits.
stolen.
It's
Use it
expensive.
for a soapbox derby.
How many are there? Spice wants to push one also.
You can grab another one. There's
Okay,
not a ton
fuck yeah.
around.
Are we
But I'll say
actually
the
gonna
two
make a
of you,
soapbox derby?
the two
Yes!
of you
This is what this D&D game.
you can each grab one of these.
Can I
No
stack a
problem.
hover cart on a hover cart?
You cannot.
Damn,
Well,
But what I
Joe.
will say is, as you are making your way out, you remember you have this UPB printer just printing out some items, and so you can grab your full printed tuber.
Oh my god!
There's a big stuffed
Carrot
armchair. It looks like a big potato, and when you sit in it, it's like bean bags almost. So it doesn't it kind of caves in. If the beanbag parts were to come out, it would look almost like baked potato stuffing coming out.
Nice.
Yeah, you have the carrot couch. The carrot couch has a little carrot top ottoman that has like a little fluff off the top. Very, very nice. Not super functional. It
A
gets tangled up in your
turnip
feet,
coffee
but-
table.
Sure, no problem. Turn up coffee table. You have all of these things, and you load them up on your
A
two
radish ottoman.
things, and you push your way through.
Which is just
Two
about a
sessions
Yeah.
of ADHD.
You get an 8-piece living room set of your choosing.
Nice.
That are all
This is the most important notes of this fucking game.
Oh yeah, that other random thing that we did last week.
and you make your way.
Killing time.
It's gonna crash with everything.
As you are doing this, and as you kind of load the last on, your communicators begin to ring, and it is Peep. Okay, you answer, and you can see. Let me change the music. Peep is a happier music.
Peep is happy.
Okay. I don't know about Peep being happy, but Peep has happier music when he's there. You can see as you press the button on your communicator device, the call has come in at exactly 1 p.m. You see the nervous, sweaty face of Peep, your white-furred Yosoki mission coordinator. The fur itself kind of curling away from the delicate Yosoki features. They are wearing a navy blue button-up shirt with a Mosaic pin on the lapel. And you can see Peep says, Senior Mission Coordinator Peep to Mosaic Team 5. Do you read? How goes your current operation?
Whoa, that's a lot of words.
Hello, Peep.
Hi, are you guys okay?
We
Senior.
are about to leave.
He got a
Assemblage
promotion a
12.
couple sessions ago.
We are about to leave Assemblage 12.
Good. I need you guys back at the Vivarium as soon as you can. Our next assignment just came in, and it's really next level. If we succeed here, the stars are the limits. I mean, by the universe, you guys are going to work with Team 1.
Whoa!
They said, they're going to be here in 2 days, so I need you guys back before then, because I can't deal with them alone. They're a little bit intimidating. I don't know if Maxwell's coming or not. But can you guys get here soon, please?
We
Who's
will be there
Maxwell?
Shortly.
Maxwell's our boss's boss. His boss.
Oh.
He's the chief of all mission coordinators. So,
Oh, wow.
if I get a promotion one day, I hope that I can take that job. But yeah, he's probably going to be there also.
We'll do it, Peep.
Okay.
All right.
To the drift. We just have
But
to
we
get Echo.
got this couch. Isn't it cute?
You can see like the
We
little
also
Yusuke eyes
lost
squint.
Echo.
Echo will reboot. I
I'm
can fix
carrying.
it.
I'm literally carrying.
Okay.
We don't need to tell people any of this. Why? Shut your
see it
fucking
on
mouth.
camera.
Yeah, Peep seems to not hear that part as you guys all just talk at once. And Peep just goes, wait, I can't hear when you're all talking at once, but okay, just
Carrot
get
on
in the
it?
drift. That's really nice, Spice. Please get in the drift, get here as soon as you can. You only have like 2 days until Team 1 gets here, and I really can't deal with them alone. Also, with Socrates here and moving in right next to my office, it's getting a little bit cramped, and I could really use you guys to just
Socrates
socially
is there?
diffuse. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna be there.
What is Socrates doing?
I mean, he's setting up a war room, I guess. I don't really know. You seem pretty upset.
Yeah, the Vesk have Hoagie and my family.
Oh.
The Vesk have my family.
That's terrible.
Yes.
The Vesk have
Why are you guys
a
saying?
lot of
How
our
do you know that?
family.
It was on this monitor.
Yeah, I told everybody.
Yeah, and
saw
Miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get.
Yeah, no, I
About that
wasn't
part, though.
there. I was.
Yeah.
away
Well,
on-
Spice told everybody. Like, she told it, like, in real time. She was, like, yelling it.
Bubs was
Yeah, but was
Decidedly
away. He was
not
at the.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
He was at the
Spice
left.
will explain all the people that she saw on the camera and what she saw on the camera.
And in that list of descriptions, Bubbles, there is an individual who Spice describes as almost exactly like you.
I see
And-
the smiles.
There's only 5 people that look a lot like you.
Could have seen most.
Bub just shakes his head. No, it couldn't be.
Do you have a better lead?
We will head towards you soon.
Okay, great. I just really don't want to be alone with Waldo mostly. All right, peep out.
Okay.
Waldo.
Where's Waldo?
They found him.
You all know enough about your own company, and especially about Mosaic Team 1, who are like rock stars of the bounty hunter world. Waldo. Give me a second.
Mosaic Team 1.
Mosaic LLC. Waldo Tub Renter is his name, and he is a goblin. He is a space goblin who serves as Mosaic Team 1's medical officer.
Oh.
Medical officer Waldo Tub Renter. He is a very broad-shouldered goblin. Yeah, medical officer.
How does he medically officer? What's his? Does he?
Make a cultures check.
Great.
Probably also spits on them.
No, that's my thing. Only one person can do that at a company.
I don't know. Goblin? No.
It's an entire
He's
medical
goblin. These
field.
never mind. Sorry.
Saliva therapy.
24.
24. You're not sure.
Damn.
When you look at them, you don't get the sense that they're anything like you. Generally, when you see pictures of them, and Team 1 in general, immaculately dressed. Almost always, they're pretty well dressed. But Waldo, for a goblin, very broad-shouldered, great posture. You almost always see them in a crisp mosaic blue suit. And typically they are wearing like these very elaborate suspenders, but you're not sure. That might have something to do with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Peep terminates communication, and the rest of you make your way towards the teleportation circle. And if you want, we can fast forward to you all arriving back on your ship.
Do we get the cuttlefish ship? Somehow?
Yeah, so you if you want,
That's
you can
already.
bring that.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. I was gonna, because I had set it to be able to go back, right?
Yeah, so you parked your ship right on top of the cuttlefish. So
Right.
very easy. If you want to use the tether to tow it the same way that you did the tendon slicers, you can do that. Absolutely.
Cool.
You connect the Project Cuttlefish Crane Jacinto ship to the Directive Zero. You board, and you are all back aboard your ship. It is 1:30 p.m. It is 5:31, 2250. It is still Thursday. What are you all doing?
So that took 12 hours? About?
Yeah.
Damn.
I need to full rest, my guy.
How long until Echo is gonna be okay? Do we have just a rough estimate?
When Kara gets back.
Cool. Okay.
She's technically okay, but it looks like she had an upgrade pending that she's been denying for a little bit.
Yeah, when they got shut down and they rebooted,
Just
every
pending.
upgrade
Oh,
is back.
And there's drivers.
Zoom.
Estimated time remaining 48 days.
Yeah.
Okay, 48 days. 12 days. 6.
99 days.
We're not sure, but it looks like
38
approximately
hours.
one
Okay,
real
cool.
world week, potentially 2, depending on Kara's flight.
Great. Okay.
Oh,
I put her in the med bay, put them in the med bay,
okay.
get them all cozy.
Easy enough.
You have a bedroom?
Everyone should rest. We need to.
I put them on the lima beam art chair.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. You take a lima bean.
We're
chair
working
that
on
you
my
got,
list.
and you
Go
just
for it.
slot Echo right in there. They will wake up in a lima bean cushion. Are you all, where are you going to make your way to? You know that you have 2 days until you're requested, so in theory, you could, because you have the drift beacon to the Vivarium, go to one other place if you want, that you have a beacon to. You could also just proceed directly to the Vivarium.
It's kind of dependent on a few things for me.
Okay.
I'm working on more.
Location of 899, whether or not Echo is going to want to pursue either 899 or going to check on the mechanic.
Kara's not here. So,
Alright.
Echo's motivations we can figure out next week.
Socrates.
Right.
Socrates gives her
But
list to go.
you can absolutely use the echolocator to track down 899. Give me just 1 second here.
You should have asked Heal Tech about that. I know you wanted to.
These are all shoulda,
Yeah,
wouldas.
yeah,
Yeah.
they are shoulda,
Like,
wouldas.
also, that's
You'll
not
text-
something that Shade is like
Yeah.
going to active. Like there are too many. It's
There's too many.
low on the
Share,
priorities
what am I
list for
looking at?
Shade. You know.
So as you look, you
let's
can
go to
see that this is
the upgrades.
the coordinates pull you far, far away.
Okay.
Outside of the galaxy proper, through interstitial space, and to the Veskarium.
Oh.
It's there on the Vesk worship.
In the actual Vesk home system itself, this is currently in orbit around Vesk 3. This is a ship or a satellite because it is steadily moving and there is a trajectory to it. And aboard this craft, there is no fewer than 13 other Echoes.
Ah, fuck.
Okay. I will save
Into
that
this
for when
space.
Echo wakes up. But yeah, I guess
For what it's worth, you can also read the batch numbers.
they're all.
7 out of 10 of Echo's batch are all aboard that.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise. Cool.
So you all find yourselves aboard the Directive Zero, the familiar metal halls of your ship, all around you. Familiar smells come to all of you, many of them sourced from Gibbs. You can hear the bark as Squeak makes their way out and excitedly greets you all.
I'm gonna check my garden, see how it's doing.
You check your garden. There are a few little shoots that have come out.
Nice.
You can see that the rice seems to be taken off pretty well, even in the places that were kind of smushed in or soiled in one way or another.
I'm gonna water it, do some basic maintenance to it, and take care of it.
Okay.
And I'm excited to tell Kara about it when she's back.
Yeah. Yeah, this rice, very dark shade to the green. It's very healthy. No problem.
Nice.
Not nearly as healthy as this banana buffet I roll into the ship.
You-
It's just a bright yellow buffet, but all the like knobs are banana peels.
When you say buffet, what do you mean?
You know, like the piece of furniture that's called a buffet.
No.
It's like a side table you put in your dining room to like put like dishes on.
Okay, I didn't
It's
know
like
that
it's
that
like
had
it's
a
like
name.
not a china cabinet because a china cabinet has a whole like
Yeah, it
big
has,
but
like,
it's
a-
the like it's a half
And a
size.
china cabinet is in a hutch.
Oh, and
because
then they
the
have
hutch
the
fully
leaf
opens
in the
and
middle,
china cabinet
right?
top room.
Credenza.
Yeah, like a credenza is a buffet.
Jeez, this is.
Want to throw the word sideboard in there
A
somewhere?
sideboard, yeah.
You don't need the sideboard.
There are more. So the buffet.
Where
you
are all your
roll in
coats
and
at
a
the dining
table.
table?
What does it look like? Your buffet.
It's bright yellow, but all the little like fixings to open up like the drawers and stuff are all like little runts, you know.
Okay, fantastic. Little tiny bananas sticking
Yeah.
off the main banana.
It's like improperly sized. It's
Yeah,
hard to
oh,
open the
absolutely.
doors. You can't really grip it because it's like
If you have
the
wet
scale.
hands, no way is it
way.
working. Yeah,
I'm missing
fantastic.
one.
Fantastic.
Well, yeah, so there's 8 pieces.
So
Yeah.
Rutabaga blanket for couch.
you all have about 2 days. What do you want to
More
do with that
furniture.
time?
I was trying to think of a pun for Ruta blanket.
You can also just go straight to the Vivarium, and you would save people out of stress.
Yeah,
probably
let's go
like
straight to the
some-
Vivarium. What's stopping us?
Socrates.
RP stuff, but like, yeah, that. Can
Oh,
happen
I
on
have an
the-
idea for
If you
RP.
wanted to go to perhaps the mall and go shopping for
I
things,
don't need to go shopping.
that would be a time that
That'd
you
be
could do it.
If people want
You can get
to.
smoothies.
You don't even need to step in the mall. You can just pull in and use the terminals within the actual luxury
We
parking
can go to
space
the
that you
diner,
have now.
get some upgrades for our
You
ship.
could go to the
We need
diner.
some ship upgrades. We need a radar.
As a reminder, the
guy isn't there. It's not just
Oh,
a guy who lives
there
at
is
the
generally
diner.
a merchant
forget
at the
that.
diner, but it's almost always a different merchant.
Yeah, so
But
So you
there's
could.
a new merchant.
You could. But basically, you have the ability to go to one place that you have a drift beacon to, and then you can go to the Vivarium, or you can go straight to the Vivarium. Yes.
You see Spice as she's boarding the ship, kind of like she has her new fancy D suit on. She like probably has cool new glasses. She like flicks them up onto the top of her head. You hear the clanking of her tactical heels clicking on the floor, and she's like, "I could go for some more augmentation so we can get at the Eclipse Mall. I want to go shopping." Peep can wait. What?
We have 2 days before we need to be back at the Vivarium for Peep. It will take about 24 hours before Echo fully restarts. If everyone wants to go to the Eclipse Mall, I see no reason why we can't.
Perfect.
Okay. You go into the cockpit, Shade. You set the drift drive. to
Were
the
you
Eclipse
expecting
Mall.
more? Okay. I'm just gonna eye up Bubbles. So it'd be like, is this when he's gonna skadoodle?
And you punch in
I don't say anything.
the coordinates for the drift beacon, and you translate from real space into the drift. The stars around you, the different little disparate pieces of satellites, seem to become fuzzy, and then the viewports are replaced with the deep and luminous clouds of iridescent purple-black smoke that form the boundaries of the drift space. You can see the drift countdown clock tick away. The minutes begin to count down towards your arrival at the Eclipse Mall. It is only 1 day. Is there anything that folks want to do on your travel to the Eclipse Mall? That's concerning.
When is ever our drift travel not crazy?
Yeah.
Or concerning?
When we have a. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Take care, Squeak. Add up all the inventory and stuff, and get all the armory stuff situated from whatever the haul is. Ship maintenance stuff, making sure. Also, I did want to see on our way out if that ship that had flagged us when we entered was still there, or like if it was.
It's in the system. It's
But
not immediately around the thing, and especially as you flagged yourself friend, there is no indication. You do get scanned. You actually absolutely sense that, but there is no move to get closer.
Because that's the one thing that I was imagining could prevent the destruction of the
doesn't seem to be doing anything. Yeah, it's an automated ship, so there's probably, aside from like the boarding enemies that boarded your
boarding
ship,
echoes.
there's not really things designed to like fix aboard that.
Okay,
At least not that version.
cool. Okay.
So you all begin to travel away in the drift. Bubbles, are you doing anything over the travel?
I think Bubs is gonna start packing some of his stuff. He starts to think about Sydney and how he's going to have to deal with Sydney still at the Vescarium. I mean, not Vescarium, at the
Vivarium.
Vivarium.
Calling a team meeting for the next morning.
Okay, no problem.
Oh,
Call a team meeting before you pull into the Eclipse Mall. Spice, are you doing anything over the first day?
I think while Bubbles is packing his things and like people are going about their day, Spice leaves, doesn't say anything, but takes that swoop hammer and just leaves it outside of Bubbles' door,
Okay.
and then goes back to the armory and journals to her mom.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting. So you spend a little bit of time with your thoughts, thinking about and directing them towards your mom. Is there anything in particular that you're putting in, or just kind of generally trying to like put into words the different things that have come up over the last couple of days?
Yeah, she's just kind of like giving mom the play-by-play.
Okay.
And being like, so the word silasagli keeps coming up, Mama, and I know
It's Italian.
what's it sounds cool. Do we have an Italian background that you're not telling me? Like shit like that.
From the Italian continents of
Castrovel.
A little far from Italy is Castrovel, but I, okay, we'll do that, no problem. Gibbs, what are you doing?
Gibbs goes around and has like a really awkward interaction with everyone as she renews her lifelink and just like makes people hold out their arm and just like takes a bite. Echo, it's real easy. She can't consent, but she does it anyways. And then everyone finds the newfound lifelink
Okay.
of we can all now telepathically
I
communicate.
wouldn't let you bite me without explaining.
The interaction is awkward and it like takes a while for like each person because like
Helps those
uses this.
interactions.
Poser uses this.
Gibbs will find some new way to renew it, but we'll do it because it's not you don't get to save. It just is what it is.
You don't get to save.
Literally, like there's no choice.
Can I put cotton ears in my telepathic
There is
ear
no
holes?
save.
One of the things about role-playing games is typically if it's meant to be like a buff, there's not a lot of ways to save against it.
Yeah. So we'll like find a way to convince everyone, and we'll take the time to do that. And so it takes like much longer than she was anticipating, because like normally when she goes up and is like, yeah, like we've built trust and repertoire, like this should be easy, and then just is like, yeah, I'm gonna bite you now, and then it like isn't a conversation for every single person. She's like, I should just done this at team meeting, just spin everyone's
I would say
coffee.
like right when you get to like about to do like shades,
Yeah.
that's when you get the message that there's like a team meeting. And you're like, oh, I should have just done it there. But no worries.
But yeah, it gives everyone the ability to talk telepathically with everyone else, and it also if you and you don't have to talk to it, it's just you can be talked to. But this is also the feature that my new healing depends
I
upon.
like the idea that like it isn't really like volitional, and so as soon as Bubbles thinks, I don't want to talk to Spice, it just beams telepathically.
Spice hears it. I don't want to. Everyone hears it.
Okay, I can form a telepathic link with 6 other willing creatures. It does require you to be willing.
Oh.
Fine. Then I can't do echo, but
I'm not willing.
just
unless you
start saying-
I explain it, and I'm like,
explain it to me.
okay, and then if I can, and then okay, so you know how I'm spending a lot of time with Spice. So I learned that I can also project my telepathy, but you can also use it too. You know how Spice can like beam into your head, but now you can beam right back to anybody. It's like a cell phone, but no hands. You can have cell phones when you're texting on your. You can telepathically talk to people, and if you have it, and I heal somebody, you get like contagious healing. You get like healing if I heal someone just by being part of our friend group.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a fun
That's
mechanic.
the buff. So
Yeah.
this depends on my ability to do the wireless healing.
That's
Or my, I guess the
So
other
if
way
you
around.
don't do it, then the rest of us don't benefit either, you hear through your head.
Wait. Spice can
he's
just
not willing.
telepathically talk to you.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm just so confused now because
Right.
I was trying to force an RP moment, and it was just the explanation of the skill. So
The only reason I
cool.
would do this is because the skill now depends on it. I chose not, I omitted it for the whole last level.
Cool.
I didn't use it because I thought it was awkward. But the
It's still awkward.
it's still awkward.
It's still
Yeah.
nothing,
But the
nothing has
skill,
changed.
the skill that I want to use this for
It's-
depends on the telepathic bond being in place. And
It's like the
you could talk to Squeak. Do you ever want to talk to Squeak?
your target animal is just gonna be like, give me food, pet me, give me food.
Wouldn't it be just like a series of
I don't know. I don't know.
squealing
I
and,
have no
like
clue.
primal
I've never-
desires?
This is Gibbs promising something
Yeah.
they don't know.
Gibbs is like,
I
don't
have
you want to try?
I mean,
particularly.
Okay, but like, think about all the technical things that, you know, if you need to be quiet, this is super duper quiet.
I recognize the utility of this. However, I believe your delivery of why could be a little easier.
Probably, but like, normally I don't have to justify helping people. It's kind of a new thing with this team.
Well, it's not justifying the helping, it's justifying the biting your teammates.
It's a one small sacrifice in which you gain a lot of benefits from.
Which is why
I'm imagining that you're holding Shade's hand the whole time and you keep getting closer.
Yeah,
and
but
Shade's like
you're
sacrifice.
a little further away.
It's just how it makes it feel best. I can't explain how my magic works.
which is why it would, I believe, be easier in the future to begin by explaining that you are attempting to help us and that you need to take a small bite rather than biting before asking.
Good point. Good point. You know, I haven't mind licked with anyone in a very long time because I also felt like that was getting intrusive. Even though it is also super duper helpful to just data dump 10 minutes of information in your head.
You remember all the people that Gibbs did this to in the early part of the campaign?
Yeah.
Like overwhelmed immediately, just like experiencing life
Bubs.
fast forwarded.
That is not always as helpful as you believe it to be.
I think it's the closest you can get to literally walking in my shoes. Isn't that interesting? Like, sometimes I feel like it's hard for me to empathize with you because I don't know what you're thinking or feeling. Now at least I know you are thinking and feeling both. But
Gibbs is just burying herself now.
Oh, they were so funny. I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm trying really hard to keep it
The
together.
way you said, isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that got me so
That
good.
got me so good.
So, you know, but like, it's a boon to be able to give people my perspective, but in a lot of ways, I wish, like, I could get people's perspectives, but then I realized that's like talking, you know, like, you do that when you, like, talk to people and, like, share information. It's just sometimes I feel like there's more filters. Like, what you say and what you feel and what you mean, sometimes 3 different things. So anyways, about this bite, small price to pay for healing in the middle of battle from really, really far away. It's like a little, like, Gibbs bacteria that just grows in you, and then I just activate it, and you get better from afar.
Nice.
No hesitation, immediate bite. And with that little bit, even I was imagining Shades. Have you ever played Guitar Hero?
Yeah.
You know how when you play really well, like the meter fills
Yeah.
up? I was imagining Shades' interest like that, and then you went little get bacteria, and then just right back down. But no worries.
You almost had him with the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foot and mouth is like the MO of
That was
Gibbs.
so good. So no problem. You are bitten. You establish the life link, and you now have this much more substantial link with your teammates. And everybody is now able to communicate telepathically.
Can speak be one of the 6?
Can I unwillingly do that one for now?
Can you what?
Unwillingly that one for now?
What do you mean? You can avoid being in it, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Bubs doesn't want to be in the group chat with Spice yet.
And like, Spice always communicates with her mind, so.
Yes, you can include Squeak in this if you
Wow! How about the director?
Gibbs, you have to think about this. If
Right.
they do this, if when they want to send transmissions to you, they can.
Which they have communicated. So, like, Gibbs has done nothing to curry favor with Squeak ever. Gibbs
Correct.
has, like, never, like, I don't think there's been a moment where Gibbs has ever interacted with Squeak ever.
No, I think at one point you wanted to eat him.
You and Squeak do not have a good relationship. It's not antagonistic
No.
anymore, but it's not good.
No. So Gibbs starts to think about how to, like, bribe Squeak to, like, form this bond.
But if you go over and you bare your teeth at Squeak, Squeak runs.
No.
Squeak is like, no.
Gibbs
Gets
knows
out of
better,
there.
and it's like thought it was gonna be a lot easier with her
Also
friends.
sitting right next to him, probably.
Yeah, but Squeak will take off at that.
Yeah.
Like, Squeak is not trying to get involved in this.
Cool.
Bite Shade and then go.
Cool. I assume Spice is easy.
Oh yeah, you know,
Okay.
she just like reaches
Cool.
out her arm while she's like on
Spice,
Instagram.
Shade. And then 6 other. Okay, so I'm not included in the 6. Cool.
Yeah.
How long
Bite the
does it
You
director.
didn't bite
last?
Bubs.
I'm not gonna write your name down.
When do you have to bite again?
So I can do it as a standard action. This functions as a telepathic bond, except the duration is permanent. I can only have 1 telepathic bond active in this way at any given time. Creating a new telepathic bond immediately ends the previous one.
So, like, to do it again, basically, like, to change the configuration, it has to be done again. but it stays until you do it again.
Yeah.
So like when you decide to be involved in it, Gibbs has to do it to everybody all over
do
again. Yeah.
fuck.
And then like, so if you're opting out now, you're basically
Opting out until the next.
you're
pay cycle.
opting everybody else into another round later. But no worries.
Can
Gibbs will
we,
explain that.
can we just say I can turn off my
You could.
can I have an
you
away
aren't-
message?
You aren't just sending it to people. It's you choose when to send it,
Okay.
and people choose when to send it to you.
Okay.
If you can
Just-
You're
it's
carrying
just-
around the mental walkie-talkie.
Yeah, it's just
Is I'm
info
giving
sphere
you-
with
you
extra
put-
steps.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait,
Well,
okay.
no.
Now
It's
I'm like-
infosphere that can't be disrupted electronically.
Oh shit!
And it's infosphere
Late.
that
I'm
allows
like-
people to communicate telepathically in a closer distance.
Can you like mute party members?
No.
I
well,
regret
then, yeah.
this.
And so when you think about like Squeak having that ability, it's probably good not to have Squeak because, like you said, food, bird, food. Like it would
Near
make the
constant.
ability very difficult to be useful. But no worries. You spend the first day lifelinking people. You eventually get to Bubbles.
Bubbles. Okay, good thing I talked to Shade about this first.
But Spice is gonna be on there, and where did this hammer come
She
from?
has that's from Spice. It's a gift for you. Also, look at my cool hammer.
Why am I getting a hammer?
You would fight with hammers. Who else needs a hammer?
Yeah, but we're broken up.
So, you're still team workers.
I don't
Co-workers.
I don't understand. Gibbs, I'm leaving the team, Gibbs. Like, why am I gonna like join a group chat in your telepathy thing? Like, I don't
Why
understand.
would you leave the team now? I don't understand. You were gonna leave the team because of Miles, but I really thought this was gonna change your mind. I'm shocked that it didn't.
What do you mean? It still is. I'm still gonna leave. 4 miles.
You're gonna go to Miles when you know that my path and Ego's path are going to align there? When you find strength in numbers? You're gonna go there by yourself and you're gonna end up being part of our rescue mission. You're gonna take on the Vescarium by yourself when you know that that's on our path. Our destinies are gonna overlap one more time. It's your choice to uncross them, but there's no logic in it. And I get you're hurt. But don't leave because you're hurt. Everyone else is making amends, forming new bonds.
Bubbles, when Gibbs says this, you realize that as soon as you were told that this might be Miles, you turned away from it. Not just physically, but mentally. You didn't even let your mind look at that opportunity, that ability, that possibility. There was a element to that perhaps you didn't want to see. But if you are really looking for Miles, this is the first lead in a very long time. You know where Cindy is. You have an idea as to what Emma's up to. And you know where Hunter is. You don't know where Miles is. Or perhaps you do.
Look, Gibbs, you make a lot of good points. Yeah, it seems likely that we would be going together eventually against the Vesk. But I don't know why. I don't know why Miles is mixed up in this. I don't know any of these answers. And it feels like a lot of the time, yeah, sure, I would have this group backing me, but you know, it seems like every mission is just another excuse of why I'm not going after him. Every second. You know, I was only joining up on Mosaic Team 5 for a little bit until Steele could possibly floating me some cash, and I could probably go out and look for Miles myself. I wasn't even supposed to be with this group that long.
You know, and I thought the same thing. And I thought, as soon as I got the ability to feed my family, I would return home. And I got that strength. I could go back now and make a living and support most of the clan, if not entirely all of them. But if I leave, my strength fades too. You must feel that sometimes. And so sure, the walk is longer when we're together because we're slower and we're distractible. I'm not denying any of that. But you're going to get farther together. I mean, look at what happens to Crumb. He had a dream to see the stars, and he saw them, but for very briefly. He got tangled up in something because he was alone, and he was prey. And so I don't want to let you go.
But don't you think it was worth it for Crumbs to go see the stars, even if everyone was telling him not to?
What point is finding your brother to die in his arms when you meet him?
I don't...
What point to find your family, collect them, and not get the joy of having a family dinner together? To experience what that love would feel like.
Gibbs, you're getting emotional. I don't want to deal with this right now, okay? Can we just stop, Gibbs, please?
You can choose to stop. But I'm gonna keep on loving you. Echo loved us, even when we didn't see it. It's your choice. But you have a home here. Even if it feels rocky and you're redefining it with spice and all that stuff is really hella awkward. There's enough room for everyone. Think about it. And I will not do my telepathic bond, and I will recreate it at some point if I feel so inclined.
No worries.
Bubs is just gonna stare blankly out the window in the med bay into space.
You do. A lot of what Gibbs says rings really true. But the time kicks down, and before too long it reaches 0, and you all emerge at the Eclipse Mall. Give me just 1 second here.
I think since now that we're all telepathically bonded except for Bubbles, Spice heard all of it.
No.
That's not how it works. It has to be directed.
Damn, I was really hoping.
As you appear above the scorched gray planet with the ravine that has the Eclipse Mall embedded within, you get the millions of pop-ups as you connect to the infosphere. You get advertisements. You get all kinds of things. You get priority clearance to your personal docking bay that is now designated specifically for you as silver members of the Eclipse Mall. And because it is 8:30, we're going to step away for a quick break, and then we'll come back for the end of our session. Thank you for sticking with us so far. We'll be back in just a little bit.
That was a
It needs
And
to
welcome
sound.
back.
Yeah.
It sounds like a bomb.
I know.
Beep, beep.
Thank you for joining us. If you are joining us, thank you for sticking through the break. If you're sticking through the break, hello, Crix. Hello, Talon. Hello,
Hey.
Dan. Hello, all the different folks who are joining us. Really appreciate you tuning in. All right, we'll jump right back into our Eclipse Mall adventure here. Give me 1 second. Okay.
Shade called a team meeting, but
We can still have a team meeting.
You can still do it as you coach.
I feel like
in, you
maybe
still need
it's-
to talk.
it should probably be once everyone gets back. I feel like that's probably let everyone have a good time.
Yeah, there you go.
first before
Then
the
give it to
battles.
'em.
Yeah.
So
You gonna scold us? What we did so
No.
good. Oh.
You don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay, I was like, how are we gonna get scolded?
you make your way into the docking bay. As you approach, it is a bay designated just for your ship, and you can see the previously opaque exterior that would enter into the mall has been changed to be a more kind of see-through, although frosted bands of glass make it not entirely see-through. And you can see some people are like peering in. You can see printed across in like mirror writing, you can just see the reverse, where this says Mosaic Bay 2. And this is like very much proclaimed to be your space now. And it would appear that having all of you at this station is actually sort of a draw. This is something that people have now made more visible. And there are people who look and you see like a little flash as the camera takes a picture, but you all are now within this landing bay.
Look, why are they taking pictures of Esiab Soy Hammock?
There is a lounge that opens up as you all pull in, and you can see there are 2 terminals that would allow you to shop remotely. There is an open bar that is available with a number of different expensive liquors that are all there for you to peruse. There's a little mini fridge that has various items. There is a level 2 culinary synthesizer as well. What are you all looking for?
Please, before you all leave, be back in time for the meeting.
What time's the meeting?
9 p.m.
Great. You got it.
Hi, Nikki. I need some
You
money.
do not want to be late for peep tomorrow.
Okay.
Hi, Nikki. Money for more.
I'm just gonna expense it. I'll send you his receipts.
Oh, I'll do that too. Bye.
Gone.
I'm gonna go with Shade.
I still have it set up that if they go over a certain limit,
You can see both Spice and Gibbs just immediately bypass these 2 remote shopping terminals and make their way into the
Gibbs
mall.
goes through the med bay, grabs her box of Scabrat's paraphernalia, and then to the adoring fans that are standing outside, starts to junk files will always be junk. Give them like keychains and shit.
There's about 11 folks outside. It's not
Great.
like adoring fans.
Adoring
And a few of
fans.
them, when you come out, it's like they're almost like a little bit embarrassed. They continue to walk away. But a handful of people absolutely take the Scab Rats merchandise. You can hear this older gentleman just go, "Oh, nice," and like begins to pull it on over like a coat and everything. Like it doesn't really fit, but absolutely people will take that merchandise.
Spice will wave to her fans from her capsule.
That camera.
I'm so sorry.
I'm banning it from the room. But
Yep.
you are waving from the capsule, no problem. And are you making your way anywhere in particular?
I want to. Kara would hate it if I went to go say hi to
I would
Lydell.
hate it.
Yeah,
we
everybody
would.
hate
I
it.
would hunt you down.
Wow, she left. So Spice is going to go to the liquor cabinet and pour herself some liquor. What's in the cabinet? Anything fun?
It's pretty standard in terms of what
Standard.
you can see, but there is make a cultures check.
Oh, that's my specialty. Don't mind if I do. 18.
There's a Shiren liquor.
Oh,
you're not
wait a
familiar
second.
with.
Cultures check?
Yeah.
So 18 plus 13. 20.
31.
31.
There's a Shiren liquor that you are familiar with, as it is a central plot point to certain Shiren films.
Oh, fun.
It is called Lover's Embrace, and it is one that has aphrodisiac effects. It is similar to a rum, and so very sugar-based. It is produced from the nectar of flowers, and that is one of the funner things that you can see. There is more of that La Shunta whiskey that changes
Love that
the
one.
tip of the pitch of your voice. There's a couple different things in there.
Spice will go for. She's gonna pocket the lover's embrace,
Sure.
and she's going to whip up a Lishunta whiskey cocktail.
Okay, no problem. Easy to do.
She's also gonna invite anybody that she knows at the Eclipse Mall over.
Can you define anyone you know at
Yeah.
the small?
Well, Mari and Neeg aren't here,
Correct.
and we're not like friends with anybody.
There's gonna be some shopkeepers
Oh,
that
we know the guy who does the fry stand.
that guy. The guy who does the fried stuff, but you made a promise for squeaky clean wipes with
For that
guy.
apothecary guy.
Yeah, and you're friends with him.
Never once checked in with that. So, like, Gibbs knows a bunch of people, but you,
I don't know if she only knows Lydell.
No. Well, don't invite him.
Okay. Well, she's going to make that cocktail and start shopping at Augmentation Lizard place.
Augmentation lizard.
When,
I forget what it's called.
when you threw Bubs out of his armory, did you give him the squeaky clean wipes too?
Yes.
Yeah, she probably
It was
emptied
one
it.
of
Okay,
the-
everything?
It
Okay.
was one of those things I remember specifically.
I
So
gotta
you
check
make
my
your
eye.
way
Damn, we got a
over.
whoa.
Unfortunately. You make your way over, and
many do I have?
That's true.
you
I must
actually
pursue
see,
balance.
right as you make your way over to the augmentation shop, there is a whole bunch of augmentations that probably just came in because you can see it's pretty well stocked. Maybe the store just opened because it's mobbed right now. You can see people are like taking things off the shelves, they're paying, they're going. And very quickly, you can see the woe influences the shoppers to really. You see somebody leave with a pair of what look like maybe draconic, almost wings that seem to fold into like almost sliver thin points. But there's still a couple of things there. You can see. What are you looking for?
I can tell you. First on the list, she's going through the thing and she's looking for a phase graft, level 10.
Okay.
It's I don't know what a gray is, but it just says gray can walk through solid objects.
So a phase craft
a
is
type
something
of
that is introduced by the gray species. Grays are what you
They're
think of
like
as like little gray men.
Stereotypical alien.
Yeah, so they literally like when Earth kind of made contact with the Lashunta,
Yeah.
Earth people were like, so there's these little like, oh, we thought aliens look so different. You guys look just like us, but with antenna, we picture them as like these little guys that are gray with big eyes.
they're like,
and they're like,
those are
oh
the
yeah,
Greys.
those are the Greys. Absolutely a species. They really do exist. They really do pro people. They have a lot of like holographic things. And so that is a gray graft that they use. And it is something that is for sale here. It is listed at 16,000 credits. It is for the skin.
Okay.
It is an item level 10, but this would allow you, in theory, to shift yourself out and then phase through different things.
Yep.
As you know that as a reaction when you were attacked, you get a 20% miss chance against that
You
attack.
guys think
Yep.
I have like I don't keep a lot from you. It's literally like a slush.
Charge that to the
fund.
Mosaic account and also regenerative blood.
So first, immediately a little thing pings on your communicator. Spice is trying to spend 10,000 credits at the augmentation shop.
How many do we even have now?
And you can see that is a
I
tab
don't
that
want to be
is
the bookkeeper tonight.
that is a tab that is open. It's still not closed yet, and so that's like an ongoing purchase.
I think immediately that's flagged. That's way over what we have. That's like
Going for the big.
that's
Can
like
I haggle
almost all of what we have.
on like
Save that.
as my personal shopper? Is it possible to like? Well, actually, I feel like there's a ton of people there and it's already on a well, so
No,
I'm not
go-
even gonna
go
try to
for it. You
haggle.
got it. You got tons of charisma. Go for it. Go see him in person or something.
Okay, so she sees, I guess through like the holographic thing, how many people are in the store, and all physically, she'll be like, "Ugh, God, she'll get off her like gaming chair and unclick the gaming console
You run over,
and go over there.
make your way through, running through different shoppers and things. You can smell the food court go by, and you make your way in. You can see there is this kind of lizard person who is behind the counter. They're wearing like crisp, what looks almost like it's just like a sci-fi shopkeeper's uniform, very simple. But they look you up and down, almost a little suspicious after last time. But they just nod to you and continue helping other people. Are you?
She walks up and she, what What do? You know how when you smoke a cigarette, you can like French it up your nose?
Yeah.
She does that, but with her the augmentation, her dragon gland that she already has installed, and she's like,
gross.
I'm back for round 2.
Make a diplomacy check. That's pretty cool.
What's that thing that like smokers get in the whole a tracheostomy?
Yeah, it's not like a trach tube.
It's like worse.
This is sexier than that.
These are like natural quote unquote
hell
openings that
yeah.
do like
Here we
move
go.
like a muscle.
Dirty 30.
Okay.
Dirty 30.
With a dirty 30, as you look at them, there is this room full of people who are all asking for things. They look up, they nod, and they're about to go back. You look, you hold their eye contact, and you let the kind of psychoactive eyes move just a little bit. You open the gill slit, they let this belch of this draconic smoke out. That just immediately you up and then exhale out. They look at you and they just kind of push this Farron aside, who just goes, "Oh, hey," and like is just completely like moved away. They gesture for you to step up to the counter.
Hey, hun, I saw that you've got a phase graft in stock. I am a little bit curious about it. Can you tell me about it?
It's a little expensive, but for somebody with such discerning taste, for 16,000 credits, you will be much more protected from anything that might strike you.
So, I am a loyal customer, as you can see. How about 10,000 credits?
You can see they narrow their eyes. And they say, "You're a bounty hunter."
Have you seen me on TJ's? Of course I am. Spicy Meadow Mosaic Team 5 at your service.
You can see they go and they nod a little bit. They go and they take this sort of augmentation. 1,000. Whoa.
20,000. 30,000.
You're a bounty hunter. You're probably worth something.
You have money.
12,000 credits. And the next time you're on the Infosphere, you mention our little shop.
Of course. On the Infosphere, honey, I'll give you your own shout out. What's the name of this store? Lizard Man Emporium, Augments Emporium. Gotta make sure. Can you write it down on my business card really quick? I'm just kidding.
So they nod and they just say, "We're cold augments."
Augments?
Yeah, cold augments.
Oh,
is what it's
cold
Oh, I
augments.
thought you said called augments.
Yeah,
I was like,
I realized that
that's
as I said
easy.
it in my
Yes.
voice.
You're called augments.
yeah, okay, augments. Yeah, Google that.
It's sure
Get to page
thing.
52 of the Infosphere and you'll find us.
Once I get this bad boy installed, you'll be the first to know via the Infosphere.
They nod. The request changes and it drops by 5,000 credits.
Ooh.
12,000 credits. Do you accept these charges?
I'm gonna pass them all along to Pete. Send them up. Shades,
Out of the office.
yeah.
Go
This
on
person looks
fishing.
up at you
Shades out of office.
and they
right
say,
now.
"Thank you for doing business with us." And they pass you this over. That kind of transaction goes through.
Fuck yeah.
No message from Peep, no flag, no problem.
Wait, you just spent 10,000 credits? Let me get
12,000 credits.
Nice.
Yep, 12,000. She winks and she gets out of there.
Okay, you
Before
saunter
he
off.
can call her
that
back.
Farron gets back and says, "So yeah, like what I was saying," like gets involved.
Yeah,
No problem.
continues the sentence where he left
Yeah.
off.
Bubbles, you wanted to buy something?
Yeah. What are we doing? I went to go off with you.
Well, Shade can craft pretty much anything that we could get here, probably. But would probably
Shit
check
goes
with
straight to
the-
leather and feathers.
Would probably just check.
Fuck
the,
yeah!
The like ship.
Didn't know I was talking to
the one that's
Amazon
there,
himself.
rather than like going out.
Yeah.
And just see. I feel like Shade. I need more armor. I'm now pretty.
I also need new armor.
Yeah, so
No one can hit you already.
Yeah, I mean you're probably fine.
Are you looking
still.
for heavy or light armor?
I'm looking for light armor, but it's gotta be.
So as you browse, and specifically for armor, when you look at this directory, you know Degray Defensive Solutions.
Yeah.
That is the place to go. And right now, as you read their in-shop inventory, you can see on the upper end a brand new set of Freebooter Armor 4s come in. That's a level 14 item.
Oh shit.
And it carries a pretty premium price tag at 60,600 credits. If you wanted to spend even more than that, there's actually an even more expensive option in the shop right now. You can see it is on sale. Is this Echelon Fashion ready to wear
I read that today.
for
Those
70,000 credits?
Baby, you're
If
worth
you
it.
wanted to spend maybe just a little bit less and wear something a little bit more familiar, there is a D-Suit 4, which is a level 13 armor, just 45,000 credits.
I need to see which one I need for. All
Now,
of my
on the cheapest end of the spectrum, you would be looking at just level 3 Freebooter armor. That's only level 10, 16,900 credits. You can see Carbon Skin White. I believe one of your party members has that.
Oh, I have it.
There is an S-Tech suit.
Any heavy
level
armor?
4. Any what?
Heavy armor?
There
we
is
all
heavy armor
have
as well.
white because Efi gave us the card.
What do they have for heavy armor?
I'll go over there in a second. Hang on.
Yeah, no worries. Finish with Matt first.
Yeah. You also do see that there is kind of as a mid-price point, Hardlight series, Squad. And this is level 12 armor that carries a 30,500 credit price tag. This armor, though, as you are getting higher up in level, is quite expensive.
10,000 credits doesn't. 12,000 doesn't seem too much now.
Yeah, you're thinking
honey.
about like that little charge, and that's
But
probably
what level is the D suit 4?
13.
13.
Can you not wear something that's higher than you?
No, you
Oh,
can,
sorry,
but
that's-
I can't craft it because I have a D suit 3 and I. Can
So these are
craft it
things
up.
that, like, in theory, are an upgrade for sure.
Just wondering.
I just got the
But
D
I need
suit.
one that holds. Yeah, I need one that holds all of my
Upgrades.
armor upgrades, and augments and stuff. So I have to see which one will do that before I make a purchase.
Oh, so you're gonna spend 45,000 credits and you're gonna bat an eyelash at my 10,000 credits?
Now that you
It's
said
one of
you,
those-
They has not spent a single thing on themselves.
Also true. It's also one of those things where I think Shade did that and was like, that's way too much, and then like started checking into prices and was like, oh,
that's the level we're at
the
now.
economy, right? Yeah, we're sitting here and there's some inflation.
Well, also it was like, oh, actually, we don't need to be as penny pinchy because now I can just forward it to Peep and he seems to have funds coming from like a higher
Peeps mystery
power.
slush fund.
Peeps
So,
sugar
like,
daddy.
If it's something that's like, yeah, I do see the utility in that, but it's also like I only have like 20,000 saved up for all of us, so like we're not made of money here.
Bubbles, if you were looking at heavy armor,
Nice, yes.
there's some cool stuff here. You could see if you were looking for something more affordable, there is actually Formy and Hide, just superior, level 10. That's only 16,000, so very affordable for heavy armor. If you wanted to look at the higher end of that spectrum, and if you wanted to spend 80,000 credits, there is a set of Hell Knight Plate, Paralictor. That's level 14. It carries a bulk of 3. It is substantial armor. You can see mixed in different places. There is Kyokor Plating 3. It's a little cheaper. There is some
How do you spell that?
Kyokor, and then the word plating, and then the number 3. There is also the Aegis series squad armor that is level 12. That comes in at 45,000 credits. And then there is Golem Forge plating, which when you look at the picture, you recognize this is much nicer version of what the Farron Bandit was wearing.
Golem what?
Golem Forged plating.
Four.
That is
Golem Forged
4.
5.
That is level 11 armor.
Okay.
That comes in for about 27,000 credits.
Give me a second. I gotta do some shade math.
Shade man.
I'm looking at
Are you
all of
boys
these
not doing
in
that?
the core
What was
rulebook.
the super fancy one?
For light armor,
Yeah.
For light armor, the most expensive one.
Echelon
lives-
fashion ready
Yeah,
to
echelon
wear.
fashion ready to wear.
That one looks fucking dope.
Echelon. fashion.
71,300, at least in the quarter book. That's what it says.
This one says. Oh wait, this is the bespoke one. Is this ready to wear?
So yeah, level 14 ready to wear.
Yeah, 71,000. Oh, but it doesn't have any slots for me. So
It
that's
is really, really designed for like operatives, for
like a skin
envoys.
set.
Fashion. I want it because it says fashion.
You buying anything? What are you buying, Gibbs?
Okay, Gibbs goes to magic store, please. But Gibbs spends the long
There's
walk.
magic stores near
There's not a
Cosmo.
Okay,
magic.
There's
Gibbs
never been a magic store.
tries to find one. I'm looking for a specific item, but will
So Gibbs, you get the sense that if you had wanted to get a magical item,
hybrid item.
probably Lola's would have been the place to go. What item are you looking for?
Teleportation unit. It's an armor upgrade.
That's
So-
what I have.
Yeah.
Those don't really exist. Pallades Rock has invented them very recently.
Okay, then good thing I had a backup
Olive's
item.
character, Spice, just picked up a teleportation. Well, like probably one of very few that are available outside of Pallades
Nat
Rock.
20 on a loot the room.
Yeah, you're good. Then Gibbs will buy a jetpack.
Oh, fucking
Absolutely,
smart.
you definitely
Wow,
do that.
we got a real thinker over here. Fuck.
Gibbs will spend 10 minutes to get a 10% discount by practicing this interaction she's gonna have with the shopkeep.
Easy
That's
enough. You can cut off 100 credits from the price tag.
And then
You've been looking at tens of thousands of credits. Gibbs sends. Actually, this doesn't even flag because this is 3,000 credits.
Yeah.
Just kind of ticks away.
Cool.
No
And then Gibbs goes to the all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant,
Okay.
and that's where she's gonna spend her day.
I
And
wanna
we'll
go
just
to
like
an
text
Indian
people.
food buffet.
You go to the food court. You just begin to. You see. There's. Granny Gathax's great pretzels, there's Fried, there's the coffee shop, there's the Cheesy Stands burgers and fries, but you make your way past all of that, past the Eats, Meets, Heats, Treats, past the Cafe Glass, and you go to the all-you-can-eat sushi place.
Yay!
You can see that, like, there you have to sign a waiver to get in, but you do, no problem, and you make your way in. It smells like low tide in here, and for you, that's
Oh.
Nice.
no problem. Anybody buying anything else?
I probably want to just craft some stuff, but I'll
Okay.
look at that.
No problem.
I'm going to look for something for Echo. I don't know what Echo would want, but probably not an augmentation. They're probably happy with their small arm. So I'll look for maybe you went through the armor, and I imagine that Echo would.
Craft up to my level.
Does Echo need armor slots is the thing. I'm gonna try to get the ready to wear armor. I want the echelon ready to wear. I'm gonna try to haggle that.
So you're going into the shop and trying to haggle that?
Yeah, she like
Okay, no problem.
is thinking of how Echo is incapacitated and like probably would want something from the mall, and Spice lands on I can't read their mind right now, so I can't ask them. So I'm buying them a very late birthday gift.
Okay. You go over to DeGray Defensive Solutions. It is manned by Triss DeGray, who you have met before. They have long, straight auburn hair. It drapes behind a soft but relatively pretty face. Their eyes are clearly both mechanical. There's no visible whites, just electric blue that emits a soft blue light. And as he moves, you can see there is complex machinery that is exposed along the spine. They're certainly an android. I believe you've met them before. But you can see there is armor all around. Things have changed since you have last been here. And you can see currently on special this beautiful, what looks very much like a mundane suit, but you get the sense that it is incredibly protected.
Spice, because it's called Echelon Fashion Ready to Wear, immediately sees it and wants it for herself.
Yeah.
But she's like, you didn't come here for yourself, honey. This is for Echo. She takes a deep breath and she's like, so I want to take a look before she says anything at Mr. DeGray and like do maybe a cultures check to see what kind of augmentation. So she'll like comment something. She'll be like, oh, I recognize that. It looks good on you or something like that.
Okay, make a cultures check.
Okay, let's see. I haven't leveled up quite yet. Motherfucking maths.
21. 21.
Okay.
Grab that for you.
You get the sense that along the spine, you are seeing what is visible from dermal plating that probably spreads from the spine and into the skin. When certain electrical impulses would hit their skin, it would probably be channeled out and from the back, arcing out harmlessly behind them. Yeah.
So she winks with one of her augmented eyes, and she goes, "That looks so good on you, Mr. Gray. Did you get it done at that
Cold
at
Augment?
Cold Augments?"
Thank you. No, it is a custom piece.
Custom?
Yes.
By who? So designer.
By an individual who I consider a friend, not somebody I can refer people to, regrettably.
She leans in closer. She goes, who do we know that does augments? Is it William the Pleaser?
No, he's our
No.
enemy.
No, he's the William
met-
the Pleaser does weapon fusions.
He does.
But somebody else does augmentations, and I can't remember who it
The
is.
lady
it's-
at Lola's.
No, it's a
The beach chick one.
yeah. There
Yeah,
you go.
she-
Dvichtik one top.
Yeah, she leans in and goes,
I have their contact.
"Was it Cheesestick?"
It was not.
Oh, okay. She backs up and she goes, "Well,
Is that the company or a name?
that is the name."
Good to know.
Yeah.
You can see they like tap something into their communicator.
Wow.
Yep.
So
Let them
what
know
can
who
I do
sent you. I'm just
That
kidding.
person's now murdered.
I'm looking at that shiny, what did I call
Echelon.
it? Echelon fashion up there, hon.
Ah, yes. You have good eyes.
When did you get that in? I've never seen it before.
Just a few days ago.
Oh
New
my
inventory.
gosh. I love it so much.
It could be yours. You would look fantastic in it.
You know, I'm actually buying it as a gift. I think it was recently my team worker's birthday, and I need to buy it as a gift.
Teamworker.
Team worker, you've never heard the phrase?
It is a Le Chante special, perhaps. I've heard
Just
of
like a
bump.
fist bump, and she goes for their dick.
You can see they cover with both hands. They kind of move. behind the
Yeah,
counter
and
a
she
little
laughs and slaps him on the shoulder and goes, "Ah ha ha, you know." So, how much are you selling that for?
bit. Exactly 70,000 credits.
Have you ever heard of Mosaic Team 5?
No, I need the
Well, that's me. Do you know anything about bounty hunting? Sounds like you don't.
I know plenty about bounty hunting. I know about Mosaic Team 1.
Wait, so maybe
about
you
the
can tell
firm.
me. Have you heard about Waldo Tubrenter?
Yes. He's a member of Mosaic Team 1.
I'm about to join him on a mission. Do you want to say anything to him?
You can see they make a sense motive check. And they say, please tell Mr. Tubratter to have a good day.
Do you not like him? Is that what I'm getting?
You get the sense that they don't believe you. And less that, more like they're looking around. There's other people kind of moving around the store, like
fuck.
they're working.
Okay, well, I don't check my communication, so I can't. Okay, whatever. She's just gonna be like, all right, let's cut to the chase. I'll take that off, that echelon fashion off your hands for 50,000.
I think there must be some mistake. No, you won't.
60,000.
It is 70,000 exactly. I said exactly to make sure that you understood that there was no room for negotiation. Unless you have something to trade.
Do I? Like what?
Like, have you done
Augmentation?
shopping before?
Done shopping before?
I've seen you.
Do I? I've got an augmentation that I don't have installed. That's not the.
Miss, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
How did you acquire your clothing?
It was sewn by my mother. My
One
coat
eyebrow
of
down,
many
one
colors.
goes up, and they say,
She's wearing a flower rag.
Yeah. What clothes?
this seems to be a new experience for you.
Okay, I give up. Fine, 70,000. Charge it to Mosaic Team 5.
You make this, there is
Oh
a flag that goes off. Spice is attempting to spend 70,000 credits.
On something we don't even have Echo wants.
Yep.
What is it?
It's that ready-to-wear armor.
Does Echo have armor upgrades?
There's
We don't know.
Send it to Peep.
you got a call from Peep. on your
Oh,
communicator.
no. You hate that.
Okay, You can see Peep's face, the white Yosoki come into the screen. Okay, this is a lot of credits. You want to spend 70,000 credits. We could do this, but this is kind of it. We might. This is a lot of. What are you buying?
You also have an incoming FaceTime from Spice that goes, I need kids for Echo! Echo deserves something great even though they're unconscious. I Nikki! And it's like annoying and loud and like probably yelling over top of Peep.
Is that Spice?
Patch him in.
I mean,
No. It's okay. Just between you and me, Shade. What is this for? Do we need it?
Most likely not. However,
This isn't a really hard question. Do you want me to reject it or not? You're in charge of the team.
it would be best for us to be well equipped. I do not know the limits of our spending.
We might have about 20,000 more credits after this.
Gibbs' bill hasn't come from the sushi restaurant yet.
400,000 credits.
Okay.
Decline.
You could see Pete presses a couple things, and on your end, Spice, you hear, regrettably, it doesn't appear to be.
Fuck. All right, the next one down then.
No.
The next one.
I'm literally just gonna go until something goes through.
So,
how far away is this place?
it's,
Where
it's on the
are
same
these
contours,
charges
so you
coming
get
from?
DeGray Defensive Solutions.
I'll do the D-suit 4.
I'm going to walk.
Okay.
It's only
towards the Grand
45.
Defensive
Make your way over,
Solutions
make
as
your
I'm
way over.
like canceling
No
all
problem.
of these.
As you get in
I'm
there,
sorry, sir. There must be a mistake. My credit card never gets declined.
I'm gonna walk with him.
I have
the two
no
of you
idea
hear
what's
Spice
going
just
on.
making a scene. You can see this individual, the blue eyes kind of like furrowing, and they go,
An embarrassment.
It's really okay. It happens to everybody. In the
I can't. I work. I swear it's Mosaic.
We can perhaps work something out. Maybe you can talk to your boss. And the two of you, are you entering?
Yeah, are we there? Yeah.
For a moment, Bubs thinks about, I don't have to be in this situation anymore. Like, I'm not required to, but I guess I'll go.
Yeah, why are you here?
He looks at you and he says, but we'll figure it out later. Let me just check with the other customers. Oh, thanks.
Just for the plot.
Yes, can I help you?
I am here to retrieve Spice.
Wonderful.
Was not even for me. I swear it was for a Echo. I said.
There are limits to our spending.
Yeah, but per person, I think Echo deserves something nice after enduring
That per
Palladium's
person
rock.
purchase would be a majority of our entire
Don't you
budget.
think Echo deserves something good for all that they endured?
I do not deny that.
To
This is
buy
not-
them that beautiful shiny fashion suit.
I believe that Echo would appreciate other things more.
Fine, you do it then. I give up. I'm sorry, Mr. Gray. I apologize for this mess I've caused.
It is okay. You can see there's like a lot of hesitation there, but you make your way out, no problem. You follow?
If you want to go back to Echo empty-handed after all of us got all this cool shit, be my guest.
Gibbs got a jetpack.
Yep.
It is not up to me. It is up to the economy.
That is the most cop-out answer. I just don't believe that. That's stupid. You literally could have approved it. It's not that you had no money. You just didn't approve
When I
it.
was planning this is like my favorite part, to just imagine what was going to come up with this. But no problem.
You heard that cop-out answer, Gray.
And you can see Triss watches Spice go. They turn and they say, I really shouldn't get involved, but if I was your friend, I would want to know that I was being thought of as well. But have a good day.
Shop keeps trying to
They
get
nod,
sale.
like, yeah, they just brush this really nice suit.
Passes the persuasion check.
Shade's going back.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
shit.
Fucking falling
Wow,
off
empty-handed. All right.
make your way back.
Shade can fucking make most of this stuff.
Yeah, but UPBs are also a finite resource too.
But we have more UPBs right now than the money that we should be spending.
Sounds like we have an infinite amount of money.
Where did you hear
Yeah,
that?
where?
sentence?
Yeah.
Gibbs,
You're killing Matt.
telepathically,
Look what you guys did.
Matt's dead.
You killed independent man.
It's like, I'm at this sushi restaurant.
I'm coming. My card got declined and I want to eat myself fat.
Yay!
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 Spices, you make your way through like the sizzling food and the burger joint and everything. You smell low tide. You smell like what smells like spoiled food, and it's coming from the sushi bar that like Gibbs has like 5 or 6 empty plates just stacked up next to them. You can see the person that like keeps refilling the tray. They're standing there just watching Gibbs. Like there are people watching Gibbs eat. Just go, 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 go.
Spice is gonna start charging people. Like, it looks, you know how like people are at the, what are those called? Like the mannequins that people are like standing in malls.
Mannequins.
Yes, not mannequins.
Mannequins and
Like the people who like wear all silver and like stand really performers. Yes, street performers.
living
Thank you.
statues.
Yes, so Spice is gonna like open up a violin case or her guitar case and like wait for people to throw tips in it as they watch Gibbs eat.
So
This turns into a mukbang.
I was about to say this is really getting pretty niche. Okay, go ahead and for me.
Oh, okay. This was good.
Can you make
Performance?
a performance check?
Don't mind if I do.
And actually, Gibbs,
Oh, okay.
can you make a performance check as well?
Gotta eat.
Is
really
performance
good.
a thing? Would it be blood?
If
culture?
you have a career in it, you could use your career. If you don't,
I have career musician.
we call it diplomacy.
Could I make a survival check?
No.
What would I be making?
You know what? Yeah, you can
Yeah,
make a survival
cool,
check.
thanks.
Yeah, you're all.
I'm
you can
just
eat it.
eating. I'm not contributing to whatever the fuck Spice is doing. I'm just hungry.
No problem. Somewhere
Nice.
there's probably a character of Dan's that is just really.
I was gonna make that joke. God damn it!
Oh my god. Alright, get this. It's gonna be
Oh yeah. yeah.
20.
30-30.
30, 30, 30, we match!
So
Double
Gibbs.
dirty 30.
Double dirty
That's gotta
30.
count for something.
At the sushi restaurant.
You see Gibbs pull out the case to their instrument. They open it up, and that doesn't make a ton of sense because people use credits and there isn't like hard currency going around everywhere. But as this happens, you can see 1 or 2 people. They like root around in their pockets. You get a few fuel cells. You get some candy bars. You get a half-eaten granola bar. There's a couple different like little knickknacks that make their way in there.
I fish the food stuff out.
Yeah, no problem. But you get, some things. Money, no, but praise and admiration, absolutely.
Spice goes in for high fives. Like,
need to
you
find
did
A
it!
few people take like selfies, like yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Come see, they're all eating Gibbs.
Yeah, low profile. Anything else people are buying?
So Shane said he can make us armor, so I think I'm just gonna do that.
Okay.
Can we buy UPBs if we don't have enough?
Yeah, you can exchange UPBs for money 1 to 1 if you really want.
Can we just say that I do this and then on the way to wherever next we go, Shade makes this?
Yeah.
Because like anything that I craft that is that level is going to be better than the butt.
And
So-
you have a day to get to the vivarium over that course, so you can probably make a couple items.
So I just make it simple. I'll just say I have the Aegis series squad, and I'll call Peep for 4,500 minus how many? Or how?
4,500, you don't need to call people for.
Yeah.
We also
4,500.
have about 20,000
1,000,
something
sorry.
UPB
So-
saved up.
Did
Okay.
you use it on my gun?
No.
Not yet.
Are you going to though? I want that gun.
I need more, and you just spent a bunch of money. There's a finite amount of
so yes or
resources for
no?
the team. I haven't
How much
spent
is
any.
It would be like the entire stock of
This
our
isn't
UPBs.
shade. This is math. This is just how the economy works.
straight up math.
All right. So you have 1 banana. On
But I
Monday.
want 5 bananas right now.
Now, if I give you 2 bananas on Tuesday, how many bananas do you have Wednesday?
We have a banana buffet.
So I don't
I'm
get the
all
gun?
out.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
I think Matt's saying we don't have enough UPBs for the gun regardless, right?
No,
You do. You
no.
could,
Yeah.
but that would be everything.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, we have about 20 and some change thousand UPBs saved up from all the stuff that I've grinded down over the time, and there's probably a little bit more from the stuff that you just got that we can grind up. So we'll
Yeah.
probably have about like 25 to 27k UPB plus what seems like about 100,000 for all of the team, of which you already spent like
10,000.
10K, which, yeah,
That's
not
only 10%.
10% of your 20% if you're splitting it between the team. You used half of your money already.
So I'm gonna use the other half for the fucking gun.
The other gun costs more than the amount of your total.
So he's
You
saying
would
that
be
the
taking
team
some
needs
of
to-
mine. You have been taking my money.
I've also been taking Bubbles and literally all of Mosaic too.
Shave is not
You make it sound like that's something new.
I know, but that's like a character choice that I made.
So no to the gun?
Maybe
You're not giving me a straight answer.
no, unless
Every time that you bring this up to Shade, they start giving you a very detailed explanation to what goes into making a gun,
And then
it kind of
it
loses
just,
you.
Spice,
and you leave.
like, it goes one in ear and out the other.
So
And
you,
she's like,
you
it was
have
a yes
this
or a
conversation
no.
at two different points during this exchange. It goes about as far as it does each time, and
Alright, I'm gonna say I don't have it then.
you do not currently have it.
Okay.
We have the resources to
So then
craft
why wouldn't you
something.
what?
Because
We're going around in circles.
we need to share
taking it off
the
my inventory.
resources.
Yeah, do
Gibbs
that.
wants things. Bubs wants
no, Gibbs
things.
just wants sushi.
That's fine.
Returned. Unequipped.
Pay my tab, and it's all you can eat too, so it's cheap.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to buy?
I want to. I think. Can I get this armor? Do I have enough for me? It's
For 4,000, how much is it?
40. It's the Aegis series squad.
Oh, so for that's 45,000.
Yeah. So no.
So if you put that purchase in, you get a contact from Peep asking you again, this is a big purchase. Are you sure you
I want to
it?"
contact Peep and just bypass all this and just be like, hey, Peep, you know,
Yeah, you can call Peep, no
let
problem.
me talk to you,
So
Peep.
you call Peep, Peep picks up and he
Before
goes, oh,
this happens though, I'm gonna walk around the mall for a little bit, like at the time when you're walking on the mall, you hear like sad music, maybe like the Charlie Brown kind of sad
Yeah,
person
sure.
walking theme, and Bub's like he's just he's doing like a sad walk. He's just sad. Having that conversation with Gibbs and everything in his life, and he looks over and he sees the water fountain where he was throwing some of the bullets down, and reaches in his pocket and just casually just throws one in and just mutters to himself, she loves me not. And then he goes into the gray store and he's looking at the armor. He recently was told all of them that DeGray told him. He's thinking about it. And he calls Peep on the phone, and he's just whatever, he's just whatever at this moment.
okay.
Melancholy.
Bubbles, what do you want?
Hey Peep, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, except that people keep.
I'm not
spending a
doing
lot of-
super great.
That's so funny.
Hang on, I'm ready for this. I was getting ready for this for my senior mission coordinator thing, and you hear him ruffling around, and you can see he picks up a couple different manuals. They're the Mosaic Manager's Guide to Success, volume 3. He flips through the first one, gets to the second one, and goes, "Okay, I got it. I'm ready."
Dude.
Bubbles,
I'm not doing
this is a safe space. You can tell me anything, bearing in mind my responsibilities as your manager to report things to Nazma. So, what's going on, Bubbles? I'm here to listen to you.
A+ pops.
It's just that you make a lot of plans in life and you think everything's gonna work out, and it just. Have you ever been in love, Peep?
Hang on. He puts that book down. He goes back and he picks up the Mosaic Corporation bylaws.
No, Peep.
He starts flipping through and he goes, I have to, as your manager, I do have to say, there's a number of rules that you have to think about if you're going to do that, so.
No, Peep, I'm not asking if I love you, Peep. Peep.
You have openings on Team 3 and Team 4. So, but I wouldn't be able, I can't supervise you if you have those feelings towards me.
Go, Pete.
Bub stops for a second. And I could transfer to those teams?
Well, I mean, Team 3, most of them are dead, but the Mystic officer,
No, that's
when they
no.
recover,
I don't even want to. I need to find Miles. I need to stick with my plan. That's a sidetrack.
Look, Pete, I want you to know that, like, this doesn't change anything, and, like, I'll still be friends with, like, you, like, separately, and, like, you don't have to choose between me and Spice. And
Wait, where does Spice live?
What do you
love
mean?
Oh, hang on. He puts that book down. He picks up the second
Put
volume.
the
he goes
paperwork
through,
in yet
He
officially.
says, all kinds of relationships are valid, and he flips the page. I am not interested in any relationships with coworkers and or subordinates at this time. Thank you.
Do you think I'm...
Yes.
He thinks you're interested
He thinks you're
in
coming
him.
on to
He
him.
closes the book and he says, look, Bubbles, I can only do so much from a manual. I think I just have to tell you, Bubbles, I'm really not interested. I've already
Bubs
been in
gets
love
like
once.
a realization over his face.
I'm not really looking to be involved with anybody on the team again.
Oh, we knew that. We did know that, but still, I forgot.
Well, what do you mean again?
I just understand when you're involved in really high stakes situations, emotions can boil over. And I mean, who else can understand what that's like except for people that are by your side when it's happening? It's a natural thing to have happen, and it can create a lot of problems.
Is that what happened with you?
No. She died.
Was this on the previous team?
I don't really want to talk about it.
That's understandable.
But the new Chief Mystic Officer, it's a new title that we're trying out for them, and we've never had a team led by a Mystic before. And technically, I don't think it was their fault that everybody else exploded. So I think it'll end up working out pretty well. But Team 4 has one spot open. It was going to be for Efi, but they didn't end up working out through the restart program. So, they're working in administration now.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But you would probably like Scott. He's the team leader.
Yeah, he sounds nice.
He's human.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that doesn't really do anything for me. Human. It's like seeing. It doesn't do anything for me.
He
But-
nods and he just says, "Well, there's no real Yosokis on any of the other teams, but we'll keep looking out."
Yeah.
I like the thought of like Gibbs has rejected him and now he's like, Peep, yes.
Bubs is just gonna be. I
mean, there's something I guess you could do for me. I mean, if this, I've been feeling so sad lately, and I don't want to go into like any more of it, but if there's any way, I'm doing such a great job at least protecting the team and all that. Is there any way you could like, I mean, I don't want to tell you all these things and I'm upset, but if I don't know, if I could just have like a personal win, if I could win, like get like a new piece of armor or something, I feel like things would work out for
There it
me.
is.
Yeah, we could do that. That's easily he puts all the manuals away. He's like, I could do that easily. I've been doing
Oh,
expense
you just want
reports
money?
since I was
Okay.
a junior team coordinator. What do you want?
Oh well, it's called Aegea Squad armor, and it's not.
Hang on, let me bring up the Eclipse Mall and just. Are you sure?
And well,
It's a little expensive.
it's just I am just remembering something that happened to me yesterday, and I mean, it was
Bob,
very.
you know what? Actually, never mind. I think it's fine. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Let me just push this through really quick. And he pushes through.
45,000
$45,000
credits.
Why are you looking at me?
And
I know who to contact now.
Now we need sob stories.
Yeah.
My family is dead.
Aegea
My
Series
boyfriend broke up
Squad
with me.
armor to your inventory. That is level 12.
Wow, nice job.
Now
you did it right.
Nice
you did
job.
it right.
Very
Beautiful RP.
That's both for Dan and Bubs.
Yes, that was gorgeous.
Good job.
And Pete says, by the way, Bubbles, are you guys coming? Because, I mean, Mosaic Team 1 is going to be here in like 20 hours, and I really just don't want to be the only one here. It's just me and Efi and Socrates.
Yeah, we'll be there soon.
Okay. Peep out.
Hey, Pete.
Communication goes out.
and that's it.
Okay, no worries. Great scene. Any other business at the Eclipse Mall?
So after the going to decline the card, I'm going to spend pretty much the entire time up until the meeting in the engineering bay working on stuff.
Okay.
Keeping an eye on Echo for when they reboot.
Yeah, you can see like the updates just flying through. Still
And
working on
taking
them.
care of Squeak, but pretty much just like at work doing all that, and then I'll send you the crafting stuff after.
No worries, no worries. So all of you conclude your business.
I pay my tab.
You pay your tab, which comes out to 200 credits. Which
Woo!
is a lot for
dude.
food.
Yeah.
Credits, like, food is like between 1 and 5 credits at least historically.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Gibbs
food.
comes out with cargo pockets filled with sushi.
Yep.
As she like the last hour was like, one for me, one for pocket, one for me, one for pocket.
Yeah, and you were such a great customer that at the end, one of the workers would have come out and they would have blended up a bunch of it into a bag for you if you wanted. So you get like a brownish green like bag of multiple different sushi types that have been pureed into like a single, what is essentially a green nutrient paste.
I go and get that deep fried.
Okay.
And then I get deep fried pureed sushi.
Oh my God.
Package that up.
Oh my
It is a war crime that
Fried sushi is just fried fish.
but it's
Yeah,
it's
but it's
pureed.
pureed, yeah.
It's rice and all.
I feel like that would taste good if you got the California roll, because that's like 2 ingredients.
Right.
The college kid that was like doing this has to go and like bring out the manual and like see what
How
to
do
do
you
for
deep fry
like
liquid?
yeah, it's like a whole thing, but they have to bring out like a quick freezer and like all this other stuff, and
Yeah.
it's like a process, but they do it. They're when they say they fry anything, they stand by that, and they have a commitment to that in the way that like almost everybody who works there is way underpaid, and this is like one of the core tenets of the job. This is like when you have to sing when people tip at like Cold Stone.
Yeah.
You have to try to fry anything that is organic.
Nice.
And as this is organic, they have to
Cool.
fry it.
I put that on the tab.
Sure.
Make my way home, smelling very much like fish.
201 credits later, you make your way back.
And then
Dank.
family meeting is, I like you all to imagine we're sitting at the table and
Oh
it
no,
smells like
please not
fish.
now.
It's brutal.
next
You don't smell it.
But
So you don't really get it, but when Gibbs walks aboard, you can see, like, even before Gibbs gets to the airlock, Squeak's ears kind of go down a little bit, and Squeak, like, retreats. Squeak ends up going into the cockpit, and you hear, like, "Arf, arf," as they jump up once, jump up twice, and then boop their nose and shut the door so that they are in the cockpit, like, closed off from everything else. It is a rough smell.
Director, turn on that vent, if you know what I mean. I don't know if you can smell. There's a miasma of fish stench. Let's
That's a
recycle
smell.
this air.
From the overhead, you can hear, there is a distinct smell.
Out.
Activating vents.
Thank you.
And for the first time in a while, you hear the director speak, the vents turn on.
oh wow.
Missed you, friend. How are you doing? What was it like being silenced for that long?
The
Useful
director
tech.
says, there was a chance that I would be overheard.
You're so smart, and I appreciate you for staying quiet.
I tried to help when I could.
You did good. You did good.
Yeah, I like your ads. Those are pretty neat.
Yeah, that was smart. Witty, I'd say.
That is a trick that I learned from Echo.
Really?
Oh, that's cute. Are you enough?
Look at our new furniture. It looks so nice in you.
You can see like the little camera like protrudes from the wall sort of space and scans over this couch.
Yeah, look at our radish fainting couch. And our corn chest of
Fizzle.
drawers.
They all fit within the space in which they occupy.
Do you have any interior design room fitting? Outfit the room? What is that?
What?
Lay out the room. Lay out the room for us in
I
the
can
most.
project blueprints onto the floor if that would be helpful.
Yes, it would. 1-to-1 scale, please.
Very well.
Thank you.
Suddenly, all the lights that normally turn blue to symbolize like team meetings, they shift and the actual physical panel turns around, and these tiny projectors, about a dozen of them around the sort of interior of the crew compartment, project down these hard bits of light, and there are like faint outlines of the couch around the couch.
Show me the
table on
coziest
table.
configuration and then the most effective one for mental stimulation and the best one for when you're working, but mostly the coziest one.
That sounds like a Spotify album. I'm mood for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, day list, yeah.
These are subjective terms. I will do my best.
You can, from my based on my style.
And it's team meeting time.
Suddenly, the alarm goes off, and yes, it is indeed time to make a team
Look,
meeting.
I brought sushi for everybody. And I start pulling them out of my pockets.
Get that!
Oh, wait.
But-
Shit, that stinks!
You all make your way into the, like, around the central table that is within your crew quarters. Shade, you have called this team meeting together.
Yep.
The four of you find your way around this space. squeaking
I
nowhere to
roll
be
Echo
seen.
in.
You roll.
It's the weekend at Bernie's.
I've been sitting there,
I roll Echo in.
Laying on a
Med
giant
bay.
eggplant.
There's nothing really to think about with, like, Gibbs going into the med bay, but then Gibbs comes out.
I had brought
Bedroom.
Echo into the engineering bay.
Oh, right, yeah, when you were
She was
doing
on
the
the lava
projects.
beam
Yeah,
couch.
no problem. No. Shade moved Echo in
Nice.
there while doing projects.
Into my med bay?
No, into the engineering.
Okay, good.
I roll
Sit
in.
there crafting shit for all you guys the whole time.
Doors
So
and
Echo
Echo's
is
just
sitting there
going in
in
and
the
out of
hover
doors.
chair, just kind of like uploading. Every now and then, like Shade will go back from their workbench, check on Echo, but no problem. You all find your way around this table.
Nice.
It is just about to be like the end of the evening on this night, and so you know it is about to be the new month. You know that you have fewer than 20 hours to make it to your destination. You will not make it there in fewer than 20, so you're arriving after Team 1, for what it's worth.
Wait, I thought no. You said we had 2 days.
Yeah. 24 hours to get to the mall. If you immediately left the mall, that's 24 more hours.
I thought we had more.
You'll get there like within
4
a few
hours after.
hours of them.
We could put the director in
You
overdrive.
could say there was traffic.
I thought we had more time to like,
It's like
stop
you're-
for the day to do that and then get there and still make it in time. I wouldn't have upset people like this.
It's not going to really upset Peep. You're still arriving within the day that he asked you to arrive. It's just going to
Yeah,
be
Shade
probably a
wouldn't have
couple
done
hours
that.
after the team.
Shade wouldn't have done that.
Well, you don't know the exact time that they're going to get there.
Isn't there like a, like a 1 or 2 day buffer in space travel?
What's
So-
done is done.
Is there in space travel? I feel like a day or 2 buffer.
There is when you're traveling by normal drift. However, there's a beacon at the Vivarium, and so you can get there in exactly 24 hours.
Okay.
But for you, you know that you'll be getting there just a little bit after Mosaic Team 1. That's why I said, if you want to go straight there, you can spare Peep some
They're gonna set up
stress.
the PD. We can get all the good seats.
That's fine.
But no worries, you make your way there.
What's done is done.
As you sort of get ready for this team meeting, because it is 9:30,
Yes.
this is where we're going to stop for the evening, and we'll start next session with a team meeting,
Yes, that's where I want.
perhaps with
Why
meeting.
are you so hesitant to team meeting?
Yeah, what is this team meeting about?
Bubbles at this table is Spice, and so you are forced to be in a very close confines with an individual you've been trying to avoid. But that will be next week. Thank you for joining us for this session of Mosaic Team 5. We'll be back on Thursday. If you can't wait that long, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be playing our original D&D campaign. Matt's going to be there. We're going to be joined by a whole other group of people who will be here as well. Please stay safe, no matter when you are joining us again. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
See you, SpaceX.